The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Stutter!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go. Feel Good Friday, October 11th. The Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk, sitting in for Pat here at his desk. He's in Eugene, Oregon. Boys, it's a good one. Football is what's been going on, Pat. Pat's joined us from Eugene, Oregon. We had some great football last night. Obviously, Niners beat the Seattle Seahawks in their house. Pat, how you doing? I know we've been trying to get things situated, get connected. How's it going out there?
It is fantastic. It is an honor to be out here. You know, Oregon's far. You know, this morning, Gumpy and I, we hopped on a plane at about 5 a.m. Then we hopped in a time machine, you know, because normally on these planes, there's like a flight graphic or some information on where you are in America. We did not have that on the flight. It was obviously pitch black the entire time. Gumpy and I just staring each other down as we're making our way out here to the glorious Pacific Northwest. And as soon as you land, I'll tell you what, you can feel it. You can feel the trees everywhere. You can feel the air and the oxygen being just better than maybe anywhere else on Earth. And you could feel that number 2 is taking on number 3 on this glorious field tomorrow. AJ, I know you and the Ohio State Buckeye fans, I know you guys have been feeling a little bit disrespected. I know you guys have thought to yourself, people saying it's going to be a close game. Ohio State doesn't play close games. I know you have been saying that people have been talking about how the Ohio State team has been a little sluggish because they didn't win by 60. I know Ohio State Buckeye fans feel disrespected. Well, let me tell you, when you come in here to Oregon and take on this team in this damn green, it's going to be a tough one. I'm honored to be out here. I'm thankful to be out here. And 2 verse 3 to start October for college ball. What a dream come true, man. This is a beautiful thing, legitimately.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That's what I think the cool thing with all the realignment and everything going on, 12-team playoff, like we get big-time games all throughout the year. I guess this is the norm now that we need to get used to, I guess, in college football, isn't it, Pat?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, I talked to Dan Lanning, and I got a chance to see his office and see his facility this morning, and we'll run that conversation here in about 20, 30 minutes or so. But it's like this type of game isn't, you know, in the old world, in the old college football world. We're going to see more and more of these types of matchups. We're going to see new rivalries born. Like tomorrow could very easily launch an Ohio State-Oregon rivalry for the next 10, 15 years. I mean, that's just how it is. Dan Lanning feels the exact same way about his team as I assume Ryan Day feels about his team. It's going to be a tough football game. I think some of these West Coast teams entering the Big Ten did not expect, you know, the amount of meat and power that Big Ten football has. I actually have some stats here from Hembo about USC and their introduction into the Big Ten. USC in their 3 Big Ten games have conceded 589 rush yards. Okay, that's 196 per game.
Damn.
8 rushing touchdowns at 5.3 a tote. Now, here's the stat that you need to think about whenever you're talking about West Coast football taking on Big Ten, Middle America, big meat football. 385 yards of that 589 rushing yards have come after contact for the USC team. Now, obviously, we see UCLA lose to Indiana. We see the USC team struggle in these Big Ten games. It feels like how Oregon views it and the Oregon team is built. They're not scared for a little physicality. They're not scared to get in there, and they're going to find out tomorrow with this Ohio State team, AJ.
Yeah, they are. I mean, yeah, I think no one thinks Oregon is just like what do you call it, basketball on grass, even though I know it's turf. And your sweatshirt says something. What's your sweatshirt say? Some kind of, you know, tagline, I guess, that they have out there.
So whenever everybody thought Lanning was going to Alabama or one of these other jobs, okay, the big takeaway was, you know, the grass is greener, the grass is greener, the grass is greener. Well, Dan Lanning said, the grass is damn green in Eugene, and I'll tell you what, it certainly is, and that's become like a tagline. The damn green conversations go tagline. They gave me shoes.
Ooh.
They gave me shoes. Green on this one here. You can zoom in on that if you want. You can zoom in on that if you want. Good cameraman here, good operations, good crew.
There we go.
It says green right there on the top. You see that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then
Don't do it.
boom, you get the other shoe. Damn.
Wow.
Right across the top. So it's like damn green in Eugene has become the color in the conversation and the quote about Dan Lanning choosing to stay in Oregon as opposed to go to any of these other gigs. And I'll tell you what, after talking to him and looking around, he's pumped to be here for the next 20 years, if willing, obviously. You have to win football games for that to take place.
Yep.
You have to be successful for that to take place. But he loves this place out here. And I'll tell you what, you look around, they got all the support you could possibly need. I don't know if you know this, but Nike was founded here.
Huh,
Phil Knight's still a big part of everything, isn't he?
Yeah, I see
Blank
Phil and his
check.
wife. I see Philly and see Dan Lanning say, I don't know if there's blank check. You know, I think
That's what I heard.
I think that would be his conversation piece, but Phil and Penny Knight's name are all over a lot of the shit here. And I think they are very invested in the success of Oregon, not just football-wise, obviously track and field. I talked to the baseball team. That baseball team's ready to come into the Big Ten and just win that thing, too. I mean, that is not even a question. Basketball, they're ready to go. And the cheerleaders were out here, and you know, everybody understands the mascot and the duck and everything. The cheerleaders were out here going full training camp practice for tomorrow on the field as we walked out here. Music blaring. It's like the sports here in Oregon are obviously taken care of well. It is a elite operation, and I think the Big Ten got it right whenever they add this team in there. The travel, though, that 2 time zone travel, teams being 1 and 7, is certainly a factor in this. You know, with Oregon, they're going to be able to travel 2 places, obviously a lot more than people just having to come out here. This is the first big one for Ohio State, right? This is the first long.
Oh, yeah.
It's way out here. Oregon's way out here, AJ.
Yeah,
it
doesn't happen that often. I mean, back in the day, the Big Ten, you're staying very, very regional. You're not traveling too far. When I was in college, we would bus. I think there was some weird rule where you had to bus to 1 game a year. It was in the Big Ten. And we would usually bus to Penn State maybe one time. But, yeah, that was a thing that used to happen. Now, good luck in the Big Ten. I mean, the travel miles you may have some seasons is going to be nuts. Something that I guess players hadn't really had to deal with in the Big Ten until now. But they'll be fine. They're young. They're 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, grow up.
Yeah, you got the All Coast Conference. You're right, Connor. You got to grow up. You got the All Coast Conference, which obviously we were there last week for Berkeley. And then last night, obviously, West Coast football is on display. Tomorrow, West Coast football is going to be on display. It's a beautiful time, AJ, legitimately, and we're lucky to be a part of all of it.
Yeah, it is. Hey, mentioning that game, 49ers beat the Seahawks. We touched on it in the top of the show. What's your takeaways from that? You think is DK actually mad? You think he's mad at his OC? Anyone else on the team? DK, I felt for him. They had a deep touchdown get called back for an illegal motion, I believe, before the snap here. What do you think of this game, Pat?
Well, DK is obviously a superstar wide receiver, so anything that happens on the sideline, we can't take serious. You know, we gotta kind of charge it to the game. That is wide receiver football. There's only so many targets, only so many balls, only one legacy to be created and everything like that. And probably wants to win and yada yada. He gets upset. Okay, so DK, that'll get all get sorted. Gino on his birthday, don't love that he has the game that he had on his birthday. But if you look at the San Francisco 49ers now, and Chuck Pagano said it yesterday, he said, I find it hard to believe that the Niners are going to go 0-3 in the division to start it. Feels like that meant that Chuck thought that maybe asses were a little tight in that San Francisco 49ers building from the coaching profession. From that entire thing, we can't go into this season being 0-3 in the NFC West. Instead, they're tied for the division lead after a massive night. Now, Mason gets hurt, which is obviously a bummer. Garanda, who was the running back that came in? Garendo, he popped off a big one at the end, obviously, and then he does a fantastic job of sliding to continue to eat the clock as the Niners, once again in the second half, seemingly try to give away a lead. They're going to have to figure that out going forward. My big takeaway is that the Niners is still the Niners. The Niners are going to be the Niners, and that our review system needs to figure it out. Okay, that is.
How do they make that mistake? How does it happen, Pat? Honestly, how does that happen in a game?
So Walt Anderson tells Terry, and we know Terry is not scared to be wrong as shit on TV. Okay, Terry's been doing that for a long time. Terry will get into an open mic in a primetime game and say something wrong regardless. I mean, that is something he's been doing. I don't know how he got the Amazon gig. I assume it's because it's an NBC thing and he does it. But nonetheless, he said that Walt hit him up and said, we didn't get the angle that you guys got. You know, the rest of the world got to see the side in from the sideline, zoomed in angle where it clearly hit his finger We didn't have that angle. We only had the other angles that were from the other side. Would have been nice is basically what Walt Anderson said. I thought they had all the TV camera copies. Everything Amazon was seeing and everything we were seeing at home is exactly what they were seeing in the, what's the name of that room? It has like 4 letters. Do we remember the, Chuck Pagano says it all the time. It's like the AMGS or something. I forget. There's some
Control room.
4 letters. Yeah, for the control room. And it's like, I thought they saw everything that we saw. But yet again, last night we learned that this review system in the NFL is somehow doofusized. I have no clue how they don't see this on a primetime game with the billions of dollars that they're making. And is it Walt's fault? No, I guess. Is it the NFL's fault? Absolutely. How do they not have access to that? Because that's a huge play. That is a huge
What if the Niners
play.
lose the game, Pat? What if the Niners end up losing that game? How pissed are they?
Kyle Shanahan will then get fined for saying how dumb it all is, which is another part of the problem. But it's like, that needs to get fixed. I think the Niners is back. Happy birthday to Geno Smith, even though you lost the game. And then other than that, it's like Thursday Night Football, good game, another one. And I was talking to Gumpy on the flight over here, and once again, we had a lot of time. Hey, we had a lot of time.
Sure.
Gumpy and I, me and Gumps, we had a lot of time.
Yucking
These
it up.
Thursday night games have kind of like started out slow, and then they get hot late. Big return last night kind of springs that entire thing. Here we go. Seattle Seahawks are going to come back and win this. That's been Thursday Night Football. For those of us who are able to stay up for these games, which I certainly did, I 1,000,000% was awake for this game.
Of course.
I saw this live.
Crazy.
Saw the fourth quarter live. I saw the whole thing. A lot of people potentially fell asleep because you see 23-3 there. Okay, 23-3. Instead, these Thursday Night Football games have been cooking late, and I think we're off and running to a good week 6, AJ.
Yeah, Chenault with that return, obviously, that's huge, I think, for the NFL. I would imagine they're monitoring everything, and I don't know about what you're doing with the whole new kickoff situation. I've been talking to casual fans, and they always say, what do you think of this? And I say, I don't know. I guess it's supposed to, have more returns. We're supposed to see a little more excitement, but it still looks weird to me. So I think this is big for the NFL that he actually took this to the house in a primetime game.
So Matt Wright, their kicker, he's a rocket scientist. But if you saw his first kick landed at like the 15, and I think he was trying to hit it a bit. So not that Matt Wright is like he has a 59-yard field goal, I think, on his record and everything like that. But as we get later in the season, we start seeing some weather. Maybe kickers aren't able to just blast it out. We're going to maybe see some more of that because I think there is a fear about this new kickoff that it's becoming exactly what happened last year and the year before that. It just has a weird setup, which I don't know if anybody could have seen that coming. I don't know if anybody could have said that, hey, kickers are just going to blast this out of the end zone. If it's only going to the 30, we're going to have the same exact problems that we have had over the last few years. It's just going to look weird. But now, as the season goes on, as kickers' legs get tired, maybe seasons change, maybe there'll be more kicks returned. But you're right. That springs open the game. That gets Seattle back in this thing, and that's exactly what the dynamic kickoff was supposed to do.
Yeah, and all it did, too, I don't know about you, but it got people thinking, are the Niners – are they going to blow another one? Are they going to? Why can they not finish these games? And it goes back to obviously Kyle Shanahan back when he was the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. But yeah, what is it that comment? What do you think? Sometimes the Niners have trouble closing the team out, even though they won last night. But the game, it became a game when it probably shouldn't.
Yeah, well, Chuck brought it up yesterday about how like in the red zone they haven't been great, and early on they really weren't like that. I think they got stalled twice on drives, ended up kicking field goals, and then Debo had his 76-yard touchdown, which was unbelievable. But that was kind of the thoughts from me, at least, is that it doesn't even matter if they get stalled in the red zone. Like, they can beat you in so many different ways. And their defense, sure, you look at the stats, like, 24 points, Seahawks scored a lot. You take away that kick return, and their defense played unbelievable. Fred Warner, again, is just the best player on the field. I feel like every time we watch the Niners play in primetime, the takeaways are Fred Warner is an absolute nuclear weapon, but he is, and it's so fun to watch him. And Geno, too, he ends up passing for over 300 yards, but like it didn't feel like a 300-yard game. They were behind for so much of it, so they had to throw the ball a ton. But if I'm Seattle, I'm kind of worried. And then if I'm the Niners and I'm a fan of the Niners, we're going back to the Super Bowl. I would have so much confidence. And, Christian McCaffrey goes down. Jordan Mason comes in. Jordan Mason goes down. Guarendo, I believe Guarendo comes in. They have depth. It feels like.
Was he sliding here for sure, Pat? You think he was sliding here for sure, or is he?
Definitely. You don't get tackled from behind and then baseball slide, right?
Yeah, I think
Maybe,
I don't know.
know.
I'm just wondering, like maybe it was in his brain thinking to go down.
Yeah,
and
I know people.
He was definitely paying attention and not going all out, not running 100%. So he's definitely thinking about it. I believe. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I'm confused.
They ended up running plays right after, and he said that he heard people on the sideline yelling like "Get down, get down," but they had to continue to run plays because Seattle called their first timeout after that run. I know I saw a lot of people, and I might have echoed those sentiments that live bet him to score a touchdown. Basically, might hate him forever. I'm not saying that's me. I'm just saying there are people who live bet him as soon as Jordan Mason went down with his shoulder injury, AC joint. They said that since he slid, that they will never ever root for this guy for the rest of his career. But he's a great player. He's going to have a long career, so I don't feel
Kyle
that
said
way.
it was a smart play in the locker room after the game.
And I thought it was a smart play. But what did they do right after? They gave him the ball. On the next play, he got stuffed, and then they gave it to Juszczyk, and Juszczyk scored. And I will say, I loved the fact that Juszczyk and Kittle were just celebrating with their wives in Seattle's
Debo comes up here, too.
faces.
Debo's up there now?
Yeah, I thought this was awesome. Now, the people in that suite that were Seahawks fans, that probably sucked. But the scene of them was incredible, and they even called their shot. Or before the game started, I forget, one of them posted
this was awesome.
on their
Juszczyk, Mrs. Juszczyk.
Mrs. Juszczyk posted on her story like, man, I hope they score right in front of us. They do. She gets a ball from Kyle Juszczyk. I love that type of stuff. I don't know how everyone else
love.
Feels. Yeah,
we love love.
Good for them.
Gumpy, come here, buddy. Gumpy, come here. Gumpy, right off camera. Gumpy agrees, I think. That was one of the first things he told me this morning, because we both watched the game live in the moment.
Yeah.
Juszczyk and the Kittles celebrating right there at the end zone in somebody else's barn. That was a beautiful sight to behold.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful moment. I was really happy that they showed the replay 5 times, and we could just keep watching
Gump,
it over
we were serious,
and over again.
Gump. We don't need you.
Gump.
Whoa, what are you doing, Gump?
Yeah, he batted my headphone thing off the thing.
course.
Gumpy just.
Wait, he didn't like.
Come on.
He didn't like that. That's shocking.
Why do you have to hate that?
No, he didn't not like it. He just said maybe we do too much, But everybody gets mad about Taylor Swift being shown. Whenever Kittle and Juszczyk, part of the football family. I like all of it. I like all of it.
Amen.
If you don't like it, stop them. Don't let them score touchdowns anymore, right?
Mm-hmm. I like Love too, and I like that I like Kittle goes for 2 tuds. I mean, Kittle in Seattle seemingly.
Oh my goodness, his catch, his catch in the corner of the end zone,
So sick.
Thing of beauty, great throw, beautiful catch. He got 3 feet down.
Monster. George Kittle is an absolute monster, continues to be. Debo looks like he's in fast forward sometimes whenever they show him running. He had to run down the far sideline where it looked like he was running at a different speed than everybody else, and he tried to run somebody over. Kittle's a beast. So is Brock Purdy. Here's some Hembo stats about Brock Purdy. Hembo also guest on the Scoop Town. I think today. I think he was a guest on that.
Congrats,
Brock
Hembo.
Purdy. Congrats, Hembo. Absolutely.
Congrats, Hembo, yeah.
Brock Purdy, obviously, running is something not a lot of people give him respect for because he's mayonnaise white. I think that is potentially a reason why he doesn't get a lot of credit for the athletic ability that he has. But he started running early, and that's when I put this tweet out. Like, don't let the Brock Purdy train get a rolling, because once he starts feeling himself, kind of scrambling and running, it's like, look out, this Niners offense looks a little bit different. Let's talk about his arm, though. Got some Hembo stats here. Only 10% of his pass attempts have come at or behind the line of scrimmage. That's the lowest rate in the NFL. Only 31% of his yardage has come via yak. That's the lowest rate in the NFL. Whoa. And based on throw difficulty, okay, here's throw difficulty. So this is an analytic stat here, like through and through. His completion percentage should be 60%.
Oh.
But instead, it's 65.4%, which is the second best margin of difference of should be in actuality behind Jaden Daniels. Okay, that's a big stat. He's completing 58% of his throws, 15-plus yards beyond the line of scrimmage. That's only third behind Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. And since Week 14 of the 2022 season, when Brock Purdy started for the first time, the most points per game, number 1, 49ers at 29.3. Most yards per game, number 1, 49ers, 400.5 yards per game. Most yards per play, 49ers, 6.6 yards per play. Brock Purdy's a wagon. Brock Purdy's a beast, always has been. And I don't know if this is the year where everybody's going to finally give him his credit, but I hope it is, AJ, especially after a primetime performance like last night.
Yeah, I'm trying to decipher through some of those stats. So basically what you're saying is if anyone calls Brock Purdy a game manager, you can't really say that. But game managers just throw screen passes, they throw short little dump offs, and they get a bunch of yak. Yeah. You're saying Hembo's stats are telling us that no, Brock's pushing the ball down the field as much or more than most people in the league, and he's not really throwing short passes around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and they're not accounting for his running game either. Wow. I mean, him being able to extend plays. I mean, he's running around in a pocket more than most quarterbacks.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And he's always
beautiful.
He's done that every single week, AJ, too. There's like 3 or 4 plays of that every single week of him faking to scramble to leave the pocket, finding another pocket within the pocket, maybe a little bit deeper, and then finding and keeping his eyes downfield. It's like Brock Purdy's the real deal. Now, is Kyle Shanahan's offense fantastic? This might be the one where Debo looks faster than everybody. Yeah, Debo's just so fast. So fast, so big, so strong. Everything about that team is like toughness, and Cam Ward celebration there happening on both sides. I appreciate that. But their team's like a tough team. Their team is obviously schematically solid, but their quarterback fits it all perfectly. And I assume Kyle Shanahan and Lynch are thanking their lucky stars for Mr. Irrelevant every single night.
Yeah, and because of how good Shanahan and Lynch have, made this team, it feels as though Purdy's never going to get that, Pat. Like, no matter what. And by the way, should be completion percentage is my new all-time favorite stat. But Purdy, it feels
Let me read that through. Let me read you one more time.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Based on throw difficulty.
Okay.
This is from Hembo, Stats Community.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy's completion percentage should be 60.3%. Instead, it's 65.4. You tell me.
Huh.
You tell me.
Yeah, I mean,
you tell me.
Based on throw difficulty, should be completion percentage. That stat should leave every show for the rest of time. I don't know why. And they should also, transfer that stat to other sports. I think in basketball they could do a based on shot difficulty, shooting percentage should be. I mean, just brainstorming, spitballing here. But no, to the Brock Purdy point, I don't think people are ever going to give him his flowers or respect because of what you said about Shanahan and because of, how good the guys around him are. But he really is unbelievable. And we talk about like how, the game manager thing. That throw down the field ball percentage that you mentioned or yard average that you mentioned, like that is something that has been a huge talking point for all quarterbacks, it feels like, after every week. Like Mahomes has been getting a ton of shit because when they show his, pass chart, all of them are, at the line of scrimmage, 10 yards or shorter. But then when you go to a Brock Purdy and you show his, throw charts and how far down the field is, then people just point to, well, Shanahan's drawing him open, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle. Like, no matter what.
Still got to throw the ball.
Yeah, still got to throw the ball. I agree. And he is flawless. Like, he doesn't throw bad passes, it feels like. He doesn't throw, like, the ones where, Geno throws where it's like, what the hell was that behind a guy, too far in front. Like, he's so accurate. But no matter what, because of, the Niners and how the team is, it is a bummer, but it just feels as though he won't get it until he goes somewhere in like 15 years down the road. People will be like, you know what, maybe we were a little harsh on Brock Purdy. This guy's great. But it is a bummer. And to your point, he can move around like a bandit. When he played New England, he was doing it like a little spider monkey in the pocket. You can't catch him.
I think also about him that we need to talk about, most quarterbacks, I guess it kind of still rings true now. Kind of bad body, just like pitchers. I don't want to say pitchers, like kind of fluid. You know, you want to keep this thing fluid.
Dad bod-ish can be dad bod-ish at times.
Yeah, not like they're not looking for like 2% body fat being jacked up. Just like shooters and pitchers and everything.
Loose.
Brock Purdy got yoked this offseason.
Look at his legs, bro. He is thick, dude. Like he's a big. I know the Kittle was talking about it earlier, but yeah, Brock is. He's jacked, man. I think his legs are a huge part of it, too.
Okay, to your point about the legs. Okay, cool. Got that. But his upper body, absolutely jacked, and he's still throwing it perfect. Yeah. Like, he didn't change his form. He didn't get all, because there's been quarterbacks in the past either gone through an injury or gone through, like, a new body transformation, and then all of a sudden it's not the same. It's not the same flick. They're a little bit off. They're trying to find back. It's like he is still throwing it in a keyhole. He is still finding everybody. Now, I think him being bigger is obviously going to work out better for his survival in the NFL. I think everybody kind of does that as a professional athlete. But, yeah, his legs, his upper body, he's kind of gone through a body transformation here while still having a roommate in San Francisco because he can't afford to own his own house, and he's still balling. It's like he's so cheap, too. That's a whole nother conversation. He's so cheap. So they can do all this shit. All the Ayuk shit can happen. Kittle stuff can happen. Trent Williams stuff can happen. Debo stuff can happen. Juszczyk, I think they signed last year. That can happen. Defensive side of the ball can happen. It's like Bosa can happen. Like, there's so many things that can happen because he's so cheap. It's like the Niners have hit a home run with this guy. And we go back to it all the time, and I think it's because we've been in locker rooms before and we understand the politics of all the bullshit and ego and pride and everything. For John Lynch and Shanahan to understand that they messed up the number 3 overall pick with Trey Lance and said, nah, we're going with this guy from whenever they started him all the way through now, that's a huge deal. It really is. It's a huge deal that they're committed to winning. They're not worried about any other decisions. And, is this the year the Niners do it? Is this the year now that they're 3-3? I mean, who knows?
Who knows? I mean, they got to pay Brock after this year, though, right?
No, he's
two.
Can they pay him after this year?
They could. Like Burrow got paid after his 3rd season. I believe Herbert got paid after his 3rd season. Would it be the right thing for the organization to do? Maybe because he's outplayed his contract by $1 billion, potentially. But no, if they really wanted to, he's under contract for this season and next season. He's making $1 million in both, I believe.
Wow.
Some Oregon guy just walked out here with a great gait. I mean, like a great walking gait. We're talking like just off a horse.
Oh, nice.
He walked his ass right over here. I have no idea who he was. I thought he was just going to walk right on the set. He walked over here. He sat down, stretched out his back, and then he got out of here. I have no idea who he is, but I'm excited. There's some monsters walking around here in Oregon. We saw a guy with this mustache as soon as we got into the building, and he had these hippie sandals on that were.
Coach?
No, not the strength coach, actually. So, strength coach doesn't have a mustache.
Okay.
It's gone?
Yeah. Mandela effect. We had me and Gumpy had the same exact situation. I don't think he ever did. I don't know if he. I don't know.
I think the guy we're thinking of is at a different school, maybe, or the NFL now. Actually, I think he's in the NFL. I don't know where he is actually.
Wait, what the hell?
We sounded like
me and
Gumpy.
Kansas, maybe. I'll find it.
Me and Gumpy sound like assholes, though, because this guy hops on elevator with us. This is 7 a.m. or whatever. We're one of the first people in the building, and we had been up since 2 a.m. local time because obviously 5 a.m. flight we're doing there. So we're pretty slapped. We're much more awake than everybody. That is what Rossio picks us up, this bum. I mean, this guy was ready to, he was ready to fall asleep in the car, this guy, whenever he picked us up.
Was he
it's like,
crying?
Rossio, wakey, Rossio. What are we even doing out here? So I realized that our energy was vastly different than everybody else's because we were at 10 a.m., local. They were at 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m., still trying to wake up. We go into the building, same exact thing. Then all of a sudden, we hear in the elevator, Mustachio walks in here with these sandals. Great energy. Hops off the elevator, and Gumpy goes, strength, lad. That's what he said there. And I'm like, absolutely. So we go up to Lanning's office. Lanning, he is
Ready to go.
Alive.
He's football coach all the time. I mean, just like, hey, didn't know if you guys were going to make it, like full on, good morning, that whole thing. And we just ran to your strength coach, great mustache, had some weird hippie sandals. He goes, that's not our strength coach. And I'm like,
what?
All right, it's starting out great here. Speaking of Coach Lanning, we had the incredible opportunity to walk around the facility this morning bright and early. They were so hospitable to us. And I got a chance to chat with Coach Lanning from his office. We were able to send that video back to Indianapolis. They were able to upload it into the computer. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my conversation and a look at this beautiful facility with Coach Dan Lanning. We are live in Coach Lanning's office here in Eugene, Oregon. Thank you for the hospitality, sir.
Thank you for coming, man.
We are one day away from the massive game against the Ohio State Buckeyes. How do you feel? How are the emotions? And how do you think Eugene, Oregon's about to be?
This is what college football's about. I'm really excited for our team, certainly excited for our fans. This is going to be a fun one.
Now, you guys are a wagon, have been for a while. First year in the Big Ten. How has that gone? Obviously, it's your first massive Big Ten test. How has the transition gone thus far, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, we're enjoying it. I think there's going to be a lot of great traditions that get to start from this move for us, getting to play some elite teams and get to be a part of an awesome conference.
Let's talk about your facility. We just walked around it a little bit.
Spaceship.
Dude,
it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It is awesome out here. Team meeting room is wonderful. We're rolling some B-roll right now. The wood on the side, can you please tell me about the wood in there?
Yeah, they trimmed it down to where they're only taking 3% of the wood, past the eye test, and that's what got to be, put up in that room. So everything in this building is the elite of the elite, and that's certainly an example of it.
Yeah, we saw the weight room. Weight room looks amazing. Team meeting room looks fantastic. Your office here is great. I know there's future things coming, but how big of a difference is that for whenever your program is already ready? Like going to the Big Ten, you already have the facilities. You already have the team. You already have the support and the boosters. How big of a deal is that for you, I think, going into this season? What does the future look like for Oregon?
You want to be a place, part of a place that's innovative, that's on the cutting edge, that's always looking for ways to grow, and that's what Oregon is. So, you want to have the best of the best when it comes to players, when it comes to talent, when it comes to people. And certainly when it comes to facilities. So proud that Oregon's always on the cutting edge there.
Gumpy and I just got off a 10-hour flight to get out here. It was pitch black the entire time. But once we landed here and the sun came up, it is beautiful out here.
Unreal, isn't it?
Is that a big part of the selling pitch whenever people get
Yeah. I mean, you can go on a 15-minute walk, even less, and you're right by a river. You're an hour from the coast, an hour from the mountains. Like, this place is one of the most unique places in the world to see true beauty.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing for your team to be out here, you think, in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Because you guys are going to have to get used to the travel, I guess. But everybody else is only doing it like once or twice a season. You guys are going to have to travel a good bit, a few times.
Yeah, a couple times. I think it's as big as you make it, right? And for us, it's the enjoyment of getting to, spend that time connecting with each other. And certainly we'll make some travel trips, but we'll enjoy that, no doubt about it.
What do you think Ohio State's going to experience out here that they don't kind of expect yet? What do you think the fan base, the environment's going to be?
Our fans will bring it. It'll be an awesome experience, I think, for them to be able to experience game day here at Autzen Stadium. It's unique, special in itself.
Speaking of game day, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, college game day.
Are you ready?
I'm pumped. I'm excited to be here. Back-to-back 6 a.m. shows. We were in Cal last week. Exceeded all expectations. Did you see that?
I got to catch some of that.
Did not expect that.
The kick is what fired me up. Our man hitting the kick in the Vans was awesome.
Daniel Villasenor. What a kick.
What a kick.
$700,000.
The first kick was pretty good.
So
he set you up.
No.
He set you up.
I know a lot of people saying I got hustled and bamboozled and all that. But as soon as I heard the thud I knew, I was like, oh, this kid.
You got a sound for that.
Yeah, this kid's got you do too, I assume, as a coach.
Well, I'm not as good a specialist as you, but yeah, big time kick.
But I could hear the thud a little bit, and I think Daniel maybe has a chance. I'm like, wait a minute here. We can have a moment here.
Yeah.
And Daniel pulled through.
Did he mess with the turf a little bit to get it right?
To flatten it? Yeah, he's civil engineer.
Smart.
Yeah, smart guy.
Smart.
What are the majors here at Oregon? Civil engineer?
We got like 120 different variety of majors, which I think is great for when students come here. A lot of times as a freshman, you're like, I'm doing this. This is what I'm riding with. And then sometimes that freshman year, something changes, so you want to go pick a different lane. So we got a lot of choices here. Sports business is one of the best in the nation, if not the best in the nation. So a lot of great choices.
I would say the business of sport is a good one.
Amen.
It's a great one to be in. Lucky to be here. Hey, hell yeah, we are. Where are most of your guys from?
All over. Yeah, all over. We got, a great group from, California, Texas. That's the one thing that's really cool about you walk into our locker room, it's a melting pot of people. You got guys from the islands, you got guys from the DMV, from Florida. So literally all across the nation, we have players on our team.
That's not easy recruiting, especially out here. And I know I've mentioned this a few times now, but it does take a bit to get out here. But I feel like that is potentially a weapon for you. Do you view it that way as well?
Yeah, huge weapon, right? We challenge ourselves to go get the best of the best. And it's about, I always tell people, don't pick what's most convenient, pick what's best. And if Oregon's the best place for you, it doesn't matter if it's right next door, right? If it's the best place, it's worth traveling to get there.
2 versus 3 tomorrow. What do you think has to happen for you guys to win?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be about the most physical team, right? Who's the most physical team? In the trenches, it's going to matter who can establish the run game. Takeaways always matter in games like this. Critical situations, 4th down, red area, those are going to be really big in this game.
Are you thinking about punching Ryan Day in the face before the game?
No, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about what do I have to do for my team for us to be successful.
Gumpy asked you earlier, we saw the Colorado speech last year. This game isn't played in Hollywood. It's played on field. This ain't about clicks. It's about sports. Do you have your pregame speech ready to go already?
No, I don't know exactly yet. I got a direction. I got an idea where we're going to go.
I think Ohio State fans, if you listen to how A.J. Hawk has talked, has felt pretty disrespected about how the conversation has gone around this game. How do Oregon fans and the Oregon team feel about the conversation around this game?
Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't. We could care less about. It's about playing the game, right? And we're excited about the opportunity to go play this game against an elite team. They're really talented. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we have a really good team too.
Obviously, it's October, so we still got a lot ahead of us here. How do you put that in perspective with your team about huge game, massive game, conference game, but also not end all be all, right? I mean, that is.
It's the next game, right? It's the next game. There's a lot of season left to play, regardless of how this game turns out. There's a lot of opportunity out there for both teams.
You have some of the coolest Nikes on right now.
These are some cool ones. Yeah.
Is your collection just absurd?
It's gotten wild. That's pretty cool.
What do you call him? Uncle Phil? Is that what you say?
Uncle Phil.
I mean, Gumpy, take the. I don't want to show the. We'll get a B-roll shot. All the shoes just lined up right here. Yeah. All the helmets right here. Right outside, there's a pink helmet. I think I saw a gold helmet, a black helmet.
We got gear.
Your guys' merch and gear has been the greatest since before NIL. Like when I was going through college, same age as you, roughly. It was like you want to go to Oregon because they get all this sweet gear. That still continues, and NIL on top of it. How has this modern world been for you and as a football coach?
Adapt or die, right? I think, again, when you talk about Oregon, they've done an unbelievable job of adapting to the landscape of college football, but also making sure that you don't lose sight of taking care of your players, doing a great job of making their experience here elite, and Oregon does that.
You're the man. Thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for showing us around. Gumpy's a Canadian ship painter, and you treat him like a VIP here.
He is a VIP here.
You're a good man. Last question here from Connor, because I know he's going to want to ask this. How many Zins are we going to go through tomorrow during the Ohio State Buckeye game?
No comment.
He's the man. He legitimately is. They were so nice to us all morning, and they have big plans for the future here about the facility. I mean, I literally walk into his office. There's like blueprints and like photos and like what it's going to be going forward. It's like they're nowhere near done. I don't think they ever are or ever have been here at Oregon. And they're in it. They are ready to win. And tomorrow, 2 versus 3, I think they're ready to go, AJ.
I think he handled your questions great. I love the question when he said, "What are you just going to go punch Ryan Day in the face?" Yeah. And he doesn't even blink. He just goes right through there like no, we are dialed in. We are focused on ball.
I don't think I'm punching Ryan Day in the face.
Well,
no, I don't think that'll be something that I'll do. Also, asked him about the amount of Zins, Connor. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, no comment. He can't just give out free pub. I mean, this man is the head coach of the University of Oregon. You can't just be doing that. But what he said about recruiting, how don't pick what's most convenient. Yeah, pick what's best for you. Yeah. Like, that is such a good line when you're, like Pat mentioned, 10 hours away from civilization. Like, and it is genius because Oregon does have everything, it seems. I'm surprised by the stadium, even though they do have a bigger jumbotron than Lucas Oil. It didn't look as big as I would have thought, Pat. How is it over there?
Okay, so funny you say that. This jumbotron here that we tried to showcase early, it is massive. This is very new to this. This is very new to the stadium. Ginormous. So, like, wanted to show this obviously at the beginning, but I look like just a little tiny type down there at the bottom of the field. They added this obviously for another jumbotron, but they said it has helped immensely with the sound. The sound, it has been a nice rebound. And if you look up this way here, where like the press box is and everything. It is kind of built up over top to kind of keep sound in there as well. That over goes all the way from like 30 to 30, seems like, or maybe 10-yard line to 10-yard line there.
Wow.
So it's large. It's not, they could pack in a bunch more seats if they wanted.
I was going to say, it looks like they could add like legitimately 40,000 seats like a Texas A&M.
It's 55 is what it says it holds.
55,000, got it. They could pack it in if they really wanted to. I think what they're looking for, and it's not like they need more finances. We're all wearing Nike shoes. I'm looking around. There's
bingo.
Like 80% of the people wearing Nike shoes here. I mean, these people aren't from Oregon. Everybody from Oregon's wearing Nike shoes. I think even the security have some Nike boots that I've never seen before that they're wearing, just in case some asshole wants to come out onto the field. So I don't know if finance is exactly what they're worried about with their decision making. Okay, I don't know if that is something they're worried about. I think they just want it to be a great experience and a great environment. And they're going to pack this place out, obviously, every single game that they have. But they could certainly add something. Like right behind us here, it's going to be tough for the camera to turn it all the way around. This is the smallest section I've ever seen of a college football stadium here.
Really? Yeah.
And it goes right outside. I assume the view is bananas off of it. But if they wanted to build that up, they could. Just like right over there. They could add on there. But I think they're very happy with everything. And it's going to be a loud house. Not the loud house, but a loud house tomorrow. Are there a lot of Ohio State people planning on traveling out here, AJ?
Yeah, I think people have been planning this trip for a couple of years now. But, like, once again, I don't know, like, the ticket allotment. I don't know how much of a section they can get in that stadium. But, yeah, I know the people that are going are pretty juiced, but that can't be much more. Oregon's smart. They're not going to allow that to happen. They're going to give Ohio State, like, their little away section, but not too much of the stadium. And, it's weird. A game like that, Ohio State scores, and when the place goes silent and you can only hear one section cheering, it is kind of a weird situation to be in.
Their section might be one of these I'm looking in because normally they're in like the corners. This side right here is the same as this side here.
Okay, yeah.
Gotcha.
I was going to say, because that does just look odd. Yeah.
That side down there is the same as down here. So they are like, what's that called?
Symmetrical.
Yeah.
Symmetrical. Good work, boys. So it is symmetrical down there. I'd assume that's where the Ohio State crowd is, in like one of these little tiny little spots here. But it's like, I think it's going to be a rompous atmosphere. I think so.
It is so sick.
Anything we. Go ahead, comment.
It's just so sick that we're talking about a 2 versus 3, like Oregon versus Ohio State, like
now,
like
early October.
It's hitting me now, and we had it 2 weeks ago with Georgia, Bama, and I'm like going back to that atmosphere and just thinking about it happening here and how like Georgia, Bama's old SEC, and Pat, you mentioned this, like this could be a brand new rivalry, and we're kind of watching not the first time because it wasn't the 2014 national championship Oregon, Ohio State, but like seeing like the first Big Ten matchup that we've been looking forward to and talking to since the conferences kind of got back and realigned, rather not got back to anything, but realigned into what this is supposed to be. Like, this is so exciting and so cool. And it's awesome that game day went there, too.
Yeah, it's amazing to be here. And you talk about that 2014 season. I mean, Mariota went for 49 touchdowns or something like that. They actually have a Mariota Hall here in Oregon to pay tribute to Mariota. It's all his trophies.
Is that his face
Literally,
in the ceiling? Whoa,
it's a Mariota Hall. Ladies and gentlemen,
got the horsepower.
Cool.
I knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
That Doc.
Oh, no.
Holy hell.
He just practicing, going through his rounds?
Doc just showed up on a motorcycle. Obviously, this is the game day.
Just getting there right.
Hey, look, that sounds like it's about 1,300 cc's there. Got a couple exhaust on there. Hell yeah.
Son of a
Oh, why isn't the duck driving?
Guy can't drive it himself.
Come on now.
And he's a Harley Davidson.
Is that Rossio driving
Harley
him?
Davidson, I believe. How you doing, Duck? Good to see you. Thank you for coming on a motorcycle. You know how to ride a bike or no?
Should be good in
Yeah. You feel like, hey, we were asking, is this where the Ohio State fans are going to be? Where do you guys put the Ohio State fans? Up there, that corner up there. Okay, it's going to be packed out. How many sections? Just a couple? Small.
This guy is
Small, tiny little section.
a mime.
Small. He's like a mime.
Yeah, he's
like
really
a
good at
mime.
it.
Yeah. He's got it.
Hey, do you ever pull a rope? You know how to pull a rope? Oh, yeah. You in a box? You trapped in a box?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can we do that?
They're making fun of you not being able to talk. You're a mime. That's what they're saying. That's what these people are saying here. 55,000 people here? 65,000? 60.
He doesn't know.
You only got
take.
4 fingers.
Wait, how many push-ups can he do?
60,000. 56,000.
Quinn Charade?
60.
65.
66,000. 66, 7, 68, 69, 70.
70,000.
Yeah, but you did 2 fingers on one hand, and then the 4. You got 4 on one side and 2 on the other. That's on you, not for knowing how many fingers you got. You tried to tell me 7. It was 6. Human hands 5 and 2. Okay, but you got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you added 2 here. That would be 6. So how many is it? All right.
Can you ask him
How
if
you
he's, can you ask him if he's worried because they're eating ducks in Ohio?
Hey.
Yep, you
There
got
was
to
a story. There was a story going around. I don't know if you heard about it. In Ohio, they were potentially eating ducks. You remember that? And I know duck is a food that is eaten by.
Oh, yeah. It's tough.
I think there's a lot of. How do you feel about people eating ducks, especially in Ohio, and the Ohio State Buckeyes coming and going? Rah, 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 you know, you're not worried about it. How's the Big Ten introduction been for you? They've been very welcoming to you.
He's worried.
Oh, I see.
Definitely worried.
They don't like you. They don't like the duck in Big Ten.
They love him.
No, AJ says they love you.
Yeah, they love
Especially Brutus.
Yeah, AJ.
Yeah, you and Brutus
Brutus
probably
the
get along.
Buckeye. You guys fight tomorrow?
If he and Brutus get a
Shaking
fight,
hands.
that'll be so awesome for the game.
Brutus would probably beat his ass, wouldn't he? I mean, Brutus.
Brutus isn't scared. Yeah, Brutus isn't scared.
The big son of
What?
a bitch.
You a dog. You're a duck. You're a dog, but a duck. Oh.
I'm him.
Oh.
I'm him.
He's not doing a gun
you're
motion.
him.
That's not gun motion, is it? That's 15 yards.
Yeah, can't be doing a gun. Can't be doing guns. Not
Can't be shooting
anymore.
guys
No
in the
more.
back either. We saw
No,
that.
whoa. I don't know
Do
about
that.
bow and arrows either. I don't know about bow and arrow. You need to watch it.
Can you throw a grenade?
What do people do with ducks? They go shotguns, right? Shotguns shoot down ducks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would take off and they go.
You call him in. You got to call him in.
How come they can't tell the difference between a fake duck call, and an actual duck call?
Yeah, ask him that.
That's a good question. Tone wonders why you ducks are so dumb that you can't understand the difference between a duck call and an actual duck. He's back here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, there he is.
Tip of the cap.
Tip of the cap. I like that.
No. Tip of the cap.
I don't think you're dumb.
Why he's got
just
that
riding here on motorcycle.
Stupid scarf on.
Does he ever drive the motorcycle himself, Pat?
You ever drive the motorcycle yourself? When? See, it was yesterday.
A lot easier if you could talk.
Oh, I can't even think about
Back
it.
in the day.
Game time.
You're lying.
Ducks are so dumb.
Do you know how to shift? Are you able to shift? No, yeah.
It's got to be an automatic, probably.
Yeah, this side's the clutch here. Yeah, this side's the clutch. This would be the brake. So you'd pull this in, then your left foot actually would be the one.
No, he has no clue.
He's never driven one.
That's a car, not a motorcycle.
Can't confirm.
Yeah, you're driving a car. No. Yeah, that's not a motorcycle. What you're doing here is a different vehicle. Two motorcycles.
Yeah, he's talking about two motorcycles with a house in the middle. He's not talking about a motorcycle.
All right. Doc, you excited for the weekend? Obviously, number 2 versus number 3. Here we go. This is what it's all about. Are you going to be there tomorrow morning?
Hopefully not.
I don't know if that was a yes or a no there. Yes, you're coming.
Just shake, can he shake his head yes or no? Sleepy time.
He's going to sleep there?
Sleep, and I'll see you in the morning with signs.
Where does he
You're
sleep?
Sleep there.
Like in a,
You're going to sleep there.
In a barn?
You have a nest?
Yeah,
You have a nest?
Up top?
Where the magic happens.
What's he looking at?
How's Mrs. Duck feel about it being up here? You guys creating little ducklings up there? You guys ducky style? No, we're not duck.
One.
Oh, he's single.
Just you.
Why?
Just you.
Is he
Solo.
lonely? Is he lonely?
Single duck.
Yeah, is he
He
lonely?
must be lonely.
They're wondering if you're lonely. Are you lonely?
Lonely duck.
No, because you got all these.
Looking for Mrs.
But what about when they go home and they turn the lights off and then it's just you up there in your nest?
Duck
your
with
thoughts.
How about you pillow talking with yourself? You think, man, I'm a lonely duck? Is that happen or no? You okay? Is everything all right?
Just doing push-ups.
What?
I'm so lonely.
I feel like there's some deeper issues there.
He doesn't wear pants.
True.
Hey, I heard tomorrow. Hey,
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 hey. Okay, yeah. That the crowd will go tomorrow for game day. A little bit softer now.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit
That's
softer
sweet.
now. A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now. Ducky style now.
Ducky style. Get over there,
A
Pat.
little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. Okay, all right. They'll go tomorrow. All right. Hey, appreciate you, Duck. You're the best.
Thanks, Duck.
Honestly.
Tony had a
Yeah,
good
4
question.
fingers.
Why does he have a shirt and not pants? Isn't that kind of weird?
Valid.
So they have a question. Why do you have a shirt but no pants? Kind of weird. 2024 too. All right, so
His shirt
I think you look
cocking it.
great. Do you want my pants? No.
Oh,
Tomorrow,
tomorrow.
me.
You do that. Take
You-
your
you
pants
take
off.
your shirt off.
Once you take your pants off?
Okay, I'm pretty jocked right now. I got jocked up in the weight room, just like you, jocked. Yeah.
you trying to-
People say you got a bird brain. I don't think that's the case. It looks like you got a strong brain. All right, thank you, Duck. Appreciate you, man. It was great to see
Thank you, Duck.
Bye, Doc.
Ladies and gentlemen, Duck.
See you, Duck. Quack, 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 quack.
Good
quack,
duck.
quack, quack,
Look at this thing walk. You talk about being lonely. It does have a little bit of a lonely walk.
Yeah,
Oh,
sad life when you think about it.
Sad
Look at it,
duckling.
just kind of.
Bye, Doc.
Yeah, why is he so sad?
So bummed out.
I don't know why he's so sad. There's the motorcycle
Okay.
driver right there. Good driving. You look at just kind of moping around.
Where's Ben? Does he like Ben? He better pet Ben.
Brutus probably ate all his cousins.
See you, Duck. Appreciate you, Duck. Hey, Ben the dog. Good with you or no? Yeah, good. I didn't know.
I mean, what's he going to say?
Okay, you and
can't
Ben.
say
Good.
anything.
Yeah. You're good with
Since
dog.
Ben was
Because he's
little.
got the dog inside of him.
You and Ben have been cool since Ben was little.
You.
You.
And you, Duck.
You.
That security guy's locked in.
Yeah.
You.
Is he sleeping? This
Security
guy?
guy's going to
there he
tackle
is.
him here in a second.
You know, that security guy told me earlier that I cannot walk exactly where I end up walking. You. You. All right, Duck. See you later.
Bye, Doc.
Get the hell out of here, Duck.
Duck came on a bike.
Oh, that is a big stadium
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Left exit. Yeah, that's where the Ohio State team will be up there, by the way. That's where the Ohio State fans will be up in that corner. Up in 35, 36, 37. Tiny little.
Going nuts.
Wow.
Going crazy.
Bob
I don't know if they're going to be
Carpenter.
able to. They're going to have some jet lag, I think. I think there's a chance you have jet. Is Bob Carpenter coming to this?
No, he said it fell through, whatever his plans were.
Oh,
he was
no.
originally going, and now he cannot go, so he'll be watching.
The general?
They fell through. What do you
I don't know. He was going out there with a group or something. Something happened.
Turns out if you have like 4 to 5 DUIs, you can't go to California now.
What?
Who has 4 to 5 DUIs?
Hey, we don't know if that's true about General Bob. He might
Bob
be just drunk walking.
Maybe it's
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, that's good to know. Congrats, Bob.
Bob will run.
Put that on the ticker.
Bobby will run 20 gassers with 25 beers in them and pass all under 17 seconds.
Yeah, he's drunk running all the time. Driving, though, he does not do that. General Bob not making it to Oregon. Neither is my wallet, turns out.
Oh, no.
Where is it?
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine, brother. I have no idea. We're thinking about making a run to a local vitamin shop, once it opened up, and quickly realized, boy, I'm fresh out. I ain't got it. So I don't know what happened. I think that's a 5 a.m. flight. I think that's going to take place. So shout out to Gumpy for supplying the local vitamins for all of us. And we're going to run that tab up for sure. We are going to run that tab up for sure. But nonetheless, that was a little bit alarming. Speaking of alarming, how about Hassan Reddick and CAA no more doing business together? Ooh. I appreciate the way that this was reported because I'm not going to say we were a part of the changing of this type of reporting, but I feel like we probably were. Back in the day, it used to be like CAA fires Hassan Reddick. It's like, well, that's not how agents work. Okay, agents work for the player. It's not the other way around. Players don't work for the agent. So I appreciate the fact that the way this was presented is CAA has parted ways in their relationship with Hassan Reddick. They have basically said that they are no longer going to represent Hassan. A few weeks ago, I think Aaron Rodgers told us, that this was potentially happening with Hassan Reddick. So I don't know when this came about, how this came about. This would lead a lot of you, or a lot of me and us, to think that CAA has been pushing for him to stop getting fined so much money every single week, maybe go back in there, try to get some things done. He has refused to do it. That is seemingly the way this is being angled here. Whatever the next steps are, we're all eagerly awaiting, but he will no longer be repped by CAA. There's plenty of other agents out there. Hopefully somebody that can get him back into a building to play football, because obviously we miss him on the football field, agent.
What could it be? I guess whatever he's asking for is just astronomically higher than what they're offering. Is that what else could it be? I don't get it.
I genuinely don't know. Maybe at some point they all had to be on the same page.
Right? Or did they not? Or did they just all assume that they were going to be on the same page? That's what I'm wondering. Did they not really communicate what each other's needs were, what they were looking for?
Yeah, when the trade happens, what's the conversation between CAA, whoever the acting agent is, which I guess we could probably dive in and figure that out if we really wanted to. Send a text. I don't like talking to suits much, but I guess we could try to get a little bit more information there. But whenever they make the trade from Philadelphia to the Jets, was there a plan in place, and we're not showing up until a deal is done? And then as things kind of unfolded and it was evident that a deal was never going to be done unless he showed up in the building, did CAA want to kind of, juke a little bit and audible and say, okay, we'll play their game a little bit and try to get a deal done? And Hassan Reddick said that was never the deal. Hopefully we learn more. Hassan Reddick would have to tell his side, and CAA will never tell their side. Obviously, that's just the way agents normally go about doing business. They don't want to make anybody look bad because they're going to be trying to do business for all parties later in the game. But at some point, they all had to be on the same page, and when did that change? I guess we'll hopefully find out, but probably never.
Well, I feel like we've seen it more recently in the past couple of years too, where when situations like this happen, they just say okay, you know what, we'll just give you more guaranteed for this year, and then if you want to go get your deal somewhere else and you think you can after this year, you can do that and hit free agency. It's crazy. I would hope that maybe Howie Roseman knew this and he told the Jets oh, you're gonna love his agent. His agent is one of the top class agents. He's gonna be easy to negotiate with. And Joe Douglas maybe bought it, and then when he had that initial conversation with his agent, he was like, oh my God, oh no, Howie Roseman did it again. He told me this guy was an upstanding citizen, and turns out he's asking for $200 million at the age of 29. It is crazy that we are this far. I hope he plays within the next couple weeks. You would hope.
Doesn't he have to come back by week 10, or he doesn't get an accrued season or something? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I think there is, because then it just carries over to the same situation next year with same contract.
Yeah.
So it's just this year doesn't even count if he doesn't show back up. I'd assume he would have thought that the deal would have been done. I mean, at some point the agents had to. I don't want to ban.
Now though, there's no way they're giving him.
I don't want to bury agents. CAA has a lot of great agents. Okay, Mulugeta, obviously. I don't think is he with Athletes First?
Yeah,
Athletes First. CAA though, I think has Jimmy Sexton, like they have.
Yeah, they're big.
Okay,
They're big time.
Vino's over there. Like there is a lot of very great business people over there. A lot of shitbirds, too, that report to all the good agents. A lot of terrible business people, have no idea what they're talking about, had rich parents that put them in that position, nepotism, networking, put them in this system of agency. And, they talk about in the mailroom and moving up and everything. That's real for the agency business. There's great business people to be had at all these agencies. And then there's shit ones, okay? We've experienced a few of them. We've also experienced a couple great ones. It's like at some point the agents and Hassan Reddick are on the same page. So for them to seemingly try to do babyface turn here, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, this guy, listen to us. Yeah, something.
Yeah,
I'm dropping you. You're not dropping me. That's basically what they said.
Yeah, so I don't love that. I don't love the way this whole situation has gone. Maybe Hassan Reddick's going to represent himself. Maybe he did hop on 95 and drive up to Woody Johnson to see how Woody Johnson's doing after making it, and maybe he gets the deal done himself. But the fact that there was no common ground here for them to figure out how to get him in the building just one time, post the inaugural hellos, that feels like bad business is happening everywhere in there. Let's talk about getting back on the field. Anthony Richardson's back, baby.
Let's go. So is he starting this Sunday?
Boom!
He's a starter,
What's up,
right?
brother?
He's a starter Sunday, right?
If he's healthy.
I don't think they've made that announcement just yet, but I do believe he was a full active participant. And you would assume that if he was full active participant, especially with the way Lombo laid things out yesterday about how this is always a future play, he had to get as many reps as possible. The guy hasn't played a lot of football. It's like we got to get him in the game to get him to experience more football, and he'll continue to grow. And when he plays, obviously he's electrifying. Joe Flacco is, however many steps ahead of Anthony Richardson whenever it comes to football. Joe Flacco can't do a lot of the shit that AR can do, but AR at this point can't do a lot of the shit that Joe Flacco can do as well. So it's an interesting dynamic because I saw a couple Colts fans actually responded to one, good dude, obviously, say, like, we got to treat this for what this is. We're in a transition era. We're in a rebuild era. It's like we've spent a lot of money on a lot of people that have been in Indianapolis for a long time. There's a lot of vets on that team. And it's like, are we just mailing it in to try to get a guy some reps? Seems like that's the case. Hopefully he's able to stay healthy. Hopefully he'll be able to continue to grow. But the faster he plays great football for us on a regular basis, the better. Because this team it's a veteran-led group.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Irsay has spent a lot of money at a lot of positions. So we're a little bit different than most transition teams, most rebuild teams. Could go if we were to have great quarterback play. And I think Anthony Richardson's going to be able to do that. Is that right now? Is that fresh off of an injury? I'm not sure, but excited to see him continue to grow. And if he gets hurt again, which is possible and has been possible throughout his career, Joe Flack is obviously ready to back him up. I think that's how it's going to go. That's no inside information, but I would assume that is probably the case, AJ.
Yeah, I wonder if AR, I would assume he's 100% right now. They don't want to throw him in there early when you don't have to, especially with how Flacco is playing, but it's just an awkward situation. Like, what if AR comes out there in the first 2 or 3 drives, they're kind of sputtering, they're not doing things well. Like, it's the classic deal. Like, people are always going to call for people's backup.
So you got to think that there's just full communication and transparency. Shane Steichen's told the whole team, you'd assume what this is, and everybody understands it. Everybody loves AR, too. We know how exciting and electrifying he can be. Hopefully it all happens quickly and consistently.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch them as we're up against it hard out here, Pat. You know that. But the next hour, we got Nick Saban. He's coming to join you on the field, correct?
He'll be right here. The GOAT will be joining us. A duck earlier. We're having a good time.
All right, we are. We're having a good time. Take 3. We'll be back on the other side. See ya.
We have an opportunity to give away $75,000 to giving Daniel Villasenor.
Absolutely.
You're a sophomore, correct?
Yeah.
What is your major?
Civil engineering.
Okay, so what's that mean? What is civil engineering?
I don't really know.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I have.
When? Were you a soccer player?
Soccer player, yeah.
Okay, how were you at kicking soccer balls? Pretty good?
I was okay. I was good.
Have you ever said anything negative about football kickers?
Maybe once or twice.
Daniel! Damn, Daniel! We don't need that! You make a field goal here from 33 yards uphill. You're the civil engineer. You'd have to tell me, I think it's about a 40-yard kick. If you're able to do that, we will give you $75,000.
All right.
He's got no laces.
Yeah, what do we got going here? Can we get a shot of shoes?
What time?
Hey, a shot of the shoes.
Daniel showed up in his Vans with no laces. What time did you get here for this?
About 11:40 last night.
You need a lot of power.
Good luck, Daniel.
I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Oh! Wait a second.
Just like everything this morning, that was a surprise. We did not expect that.
Let's go. We got to do one more shot.
One more kick for $100,000.
You got this, dude.
Let's go. How about this, Daniel? How about this, Daniel? Not only is this one for $100,000, if you make it, we'll add another $100,000 to the $500,000 donation we're about to make from College Game Day to the hurricane relief. It could be $600,000 if you make this, with $100,000 going into your pocket. Daniel, this is bigger than you. Let's make a kick, bro.
Way to overcome the shoes here. That was a heck of an effort. Come on, you got this.
In Berkeley, California.
You got it.
Oh! Hell yeah!
Great job.
Damn, Daniel! Damn, Daniel! All right.
Just talking.
Are you kidding me?
This is fun, man. 11:40 he was there. I know.
$600,000 to hurricane relief. $100,000 to Daniel. What a morning in Berkeley. Way to go, Daniel.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Welcome back, hour 2 of the Pat McAfee Show. Pat is in Eugene, Oregon. Game day's there for a giant matchup. I'm AJ Hawk sitting here at the desk for Pat in Indianapolis holding it down. Football is what's on everybody's mind.
Good lead in there.
Thank you. Yes, Pat, I'm trying to hit the timing there. Obviously, for people that weren't here in the first hour, you're in Eugene, Oregon. Is that Rich Brooks Field? Not Oregon, Oregon.
Yeah, it's Autzen
Stadium at Rich Brooks Field.
Rich Brooks Field. Yeah, I think it's Rich Brooks Field at Autzen Stadium.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, you know.
Longtime coach of the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, of course.
One of the GOATs.
We know that.
Yeah, there's another guy named Leo. His name was up on the building earlier.
Steve Prefontaine. You seen anything with Steve Prefontaine?
Haven't gone into the Olympic stuff yet. Will, though. I mean, there's a lot of good history here. They call this what? Speed? I think it's a
Speed.
I think it's Speed City because they got the track, obviously, animals everywhere running so fast. The entire football complex, we went over and saw it, just history everywhere. You know, they got like the amount of shit on the wall about good moments, and the amount of sports it is. And I think we all forget about it, obviously, because it's so far over here. You know, and that's why game day and like tomorrow is so awesome, because you get a chance to shine a spotlight on things that a lot of us have probably never heard of. This is the Mariota Hall. I said this was just literally just walking out of the athletic building. They're like, oh yeah, this is Mariota Hall. I'm like, what is that? They're like, well, Marcus Mariota. I'm like, yeah, I'm smart, I got it. They're like, these are all the trophies he won. And at the beginning of that video, if you look up at the top, there's like a little, like that's Mariota's face, but you can't tell.
Cool.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's like they invested time in it. It's like the attention to detail here at Oregon for everything is seemingly through the roof, and that's why they're a great program. And that's why we got 2 versus 3 tomorrow. Ohio State coming to town, and we looked some of these numbers up for Mariota in 2014 because we're talking about Genty. You know, that Boise State team did well against this Oregon team earlier. Actually had a lot of people wondering if this Oregon team was going to be okay because of how great Boise State played against them. It's like Boise State might have had the Heisman on the field at that point in Genty, and if he runs for 2,000, which a lot of people are expecting him to do, and he's on pace to do, it's like that's historic, that's mighty. Melvin Gordon in 2014 ran for 2,600 yards in a season in Wisconsin. Did not win the Heisman because Marcus Mariota had 49 touchdowns that season. And I was just told by the PR person, I think he got the highest vote for Heisman, like maybe up into that point of like, this guy deserves it, this guy deserves it, more so than anybody in history. It's like they cherish those things here in Oregon. They take care of those things. They remember those things, and they celebrate those things. And I think that's a big part of being a great sports program.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Oregon was way ahead of everybody, I feel like, when it comes to the facilities. Obviously, the 25 different alternate uniforms, that's kind of what put them on the map. And having Phil Knight right there being in his own backyard and having such a huge impact on everyone there, it's crazy. I know, Tone, were you saying something about the Oregon Ducks?
Well, no, Mariota had 57 touchdowns in 2014 to 4 interceptions, 42 passing, 15 rushing. He had 5,100 total yards that season, and Melvin Gordon came in second because of Mariota's that was just an unbelievable situation there. And they would call it Tracktown USA. I googled it, Tracktown USA.
Tracktown.
There it is, not Speed Town.
They need to change it to Speed Town or Speedville.
Speed Town is anywhere Michael Keaton is.
You're right, man.
That's right. That's true. That is true.
Speed City, maybe?
Yes, it was Tracktown, Speed Town. They do it right here. 70,000 is what they said, the amount of people that are going to be in here yesterday, even though
that's what the Ducks said.
That's Tone claims that. Tone said something else, but the Duck said 70, so we got to believe the Duck, right?
I mean, to be
we
fair,
had some people off camera. There's officers of law over here. I don't know if they know the entire details. Just had some of the local vitamins right in front of the cops. That is a nice little, that is a nice little added benefit to being in states like Oregon. But I think 70 is what it's going to be. These little end zone spots, though, are interesting. It could grow if they needed it to. I don't think they're going to say they needed to. AJ, week 6 of the NFL season is going to be a big one as well. And I think last night was a good indicator of that.
Yeah, last night was. And you mentioned Michael Keaton, and I wonder what Michael Keaton's thoughts. I hope he's watching. He said he watches the show. We know this. The 49ers obviously back on track. Here they go. But Pat, I don't know if you know if it's breaking news to you or not, but Russell Wilson, he's not fully back, but he's kind of back. He's not sure about his role for the game. What do you think Michael Keaton thinks about Russell Wilson possibly being close to 100%?
So I would assume Michael Keaton is down for whatever's going to make the Pittsburgh Steelers better. And Arthur Smith, the answer he's given about like everything from George Pickens to Justin Fields usage to Russell Wilson and the way Russell Wilson has talked about it all, seems like the Tomlin-led organization is handling it publicly in the right spot. But I think Yinzers would be okay if Russell Wilson played quarterback. I might be reading the tea leaves wrong, and Justin Fields was their guy for a long time. He threw 300 against the Colts. Obviously, they ended up losing to the Colts, but it felt all right.
You know what I mean? At this point, who doesn't if Goof's on the call?
All right. Okay.
I might be able to kill you. I might be able to.
No.
Okay. Yeah, everything he said about Gus Badley and yada, yada, yada. Okay, the Colts are good football.
I didn't think about it. Goof Badley. That's good.
That's not his name.
That's good.
Gus Bradley.
That's what you were saying. Gus Bradley, good guy, has given his life to football. We're certainly appreciative of that. Now, if Bob Saleh wanted to come over, I think that would be a conversation Jim Irsay would have. But it's like Justin Fields was the guy for the Steelers for a long time. And these Yinzers were 100% behind him. Then you have a couple weeks, things don't go necessarily great. Then you get a little drama with George Pickens, the wide receiver, and then Arthur Smith has to answer some things. Then the original pole sitter for the quarterback position is finally healthy again. It's almost like perfect timing, Tony. You might have a better read on it, but it feels like Yinzers would be okay if Mr. Unlimited got back onto the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the first time.
Yeah, 1 week ago, I think they would have rioted.
What?
Road?
Rioted.
Oh, rioted. Oh, my bad.
They said
rioted. Rioted. I don't know what you heard.
No, rioted.
What, you guys don't have ears? You guys can't listen to what the guy said?
I thought he said rioted.
No, Pat just understands the dialect, and you two don't.
Well, haven't you heard people say hanged and not hung? You ever heard that? Is that the proper thing?
Well, why are you guys talking about that in Ohio?
Well, because you got to hang meat. You shoot a deer or something, you got to hang meat.
Yeah. All right. Tone, please get back to your point.
Yes, a week ago, everyone was all in on Justin Fields. And then I think there was this weird moment where Justin Fields gets knocked out of the game and Kyle Allen comes in and throws just a dart for like a 30-yard gain. And everyone was like, oh, that was weird. Different quarterback just came and just threw a dart down the seam to Muth and, everyone went, interesting. But now that Russell Wilson he's a full participant. Mike Tomlin said that he will probably be the number 2 this week. He took number 2 reps all week because he said he didn't want to take away from Justin Fields' preparation. So I think Fields will get the start. Now, if things don't go well in the first half, and they have not all season long, even when Fields was playing well, things have not looked great in the first half. I would be shocked if Yinzers weren't calling for Russell Wilson, especially
first quarter, don't you think? I mean,
first quarter, first drive,
half?
Whatever. Because
first play.
Agreed. Like if there's a botched fumble, which has happened, whatever, they'll be calling for Russ. And I would not be surprised to see Russ in this game, especially against the Raiders, if things don't go well. And I don't know if Yinzers know exactly ever what they want. They just want to win.
Well, I know that Yinzers had to drive home at 2 a.m. After a loss on the last play, and I think they are okay. Now would be the time for change. You know, the amount of misery that potentially comes from that ending to the Dallas Cowboys, a game that you should have won. They probably feel like they had won and everything moving forward. So it's all about, the ebbs and flows of a season. And Mike Tomlin has always been very much like this. That's why him firing Matt Canada last year was such a surprise, because it never happens. So a quarterback change would obviously be a massive ordeal as well in Pittsburgh. But I think Yinzers are potentially prepared for it. But there's a chance Justin Fields comes out here this week and cooks again. And plays his best football. Then the conversation gets louder next week, AJ. It gets louder next week if Russell's healthy and Justin has his best game. Then what happens?
Yeah, it's not a Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning situation, but I mean, it's one of those kind of things where Quinn obviously could still win the Heisman, but it's just a weird deal when a guy behind you everyone loves a backup quarterback, obviously, if the starter has 2 incompletions. So, it's just a very difficult spot. If you can play, if you're Justin Fields and you can play through that and you can consistently continue, hold that guy off, it's a pretty impressive thing, I think, mentally to do.
Yeah, and Artie Smith has to balance it all, and there's egos and pride and a big game, and a lot of games left that they all have to balance over there. This is first time for Coach Tomlin, right, having to deal with this?
Feels like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was the Kenny and
Tommy Maddox.
Tommy when Tommy got hurt and Ben came in, but there was the Kenny stuff last year when he was back healthy and Mason ended up being the starting quarterback, stuff like that, but never to this degree, I would say.
Hey, Tone, while you're talking, AP Tone.
Yeah.
UAP folks are certainly in the middle of it right now, aren't you?
Whoa.
We have a vote. We have a vote. Yada, yada, yada. Comeback player of the year. People are getting bamboozled. What the hell's going on with the Associated Press, Tone? Yeah. You're a part of it. Well, what's the deal?
Were you on that call?
I wouldn't put it on the AP, okay, because this information came out in June, and the information that Pat is talking about is that, in years past when Geno Smith won the comeback player of the year and Joe Flacco won the comeback player of the year, these us AP folk, we were talking, and it's like, hey, what's in the spirit of the award? The spirit of the award, I think, has now transitioned, and this was reported in June, to, someone that has overcome more than just not being a starter in the NFL, whether it be injury or...
How do you know what he's going through at home?
Yeah, what about mentally coming back?
Well, Joe,
we're not talking personally. We're talking professionally.
Yes, professionally. Yes. Well, exactly. Thank you, Pat, for having my back for 2 segments in a row here. And I need that because these guys, assholes.
Whoa!
But now,
why you're costing a lot of people money.
No.
There's gamblers. There's gamblers betting on Sam
You're
Darnold.
saying we. You should go to answer some questions.
The scumbag sports books. Okay.
Who?
All of them.
All of them.
The Italians.
All the colors, all the sports books, okay? They knew about this in June and still had, these players like Sam Darnold up there for the award and took everyone's money. And they knew the spirit of the award this year. And now that it's just coming out here now they're getting in shit for it because they took people's money. Some books are taking it off the board in situations. They should all be refunded if you bet on Sam Darnold. But this information was out in June. This isn't on the AP. This is on the scumbag sports books.
You said this before, and you need to spread the word to the AP brethren and sisters of your clan. There needs to be a most improved award.
Yes,
like, this
agreed.
is exactly why this conversation is happening. Like NBA has a most improved, and both those guys, Tony just said, Flacco and Geno Smith, like they would be shoo-ins for most improved. Now I don't know about footsteps, because how can you improve from being a Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP? Because that's who footsteps is. But when you're just talking about like awards like that, and it would be a great award for guys who
you want
have
most improved though, Pat? Do you want most improved award?
I think that'd be a tough pill to swallow if you're the first one. I think if it became like a normal, like a normal award, I think it'd be good. I think they should add something along those lines. Maybe it's like the
Comeback from Adversity Award or something. I don't know.
I'm back award, maybe like the
that'd be cool.
Something like
I was good. And
something like that.
Yeah,
the next Ham Award.
No, they already got the Himmies, brother.
Ah, shit.
Or that played better than he thought that he would this year.
Yeah,
this guy used to suck award, but now he's kind of good.
What about like a breakthrough?
Yes, completion rate over expected award.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick, you're on the right path, Nick. Thank you for not being so negative as everybody's saying. This guy used to be ass award. Like, that is not the name of it. Okay,
but imagine the trophy. This guy used to be ass, and it's just a big ash, and it's like, hey, this used to be me.
With
but
an
now
X
I'm
through it.
awesome.
Yeah.
With an X
Yeah,
through
with
it.
a
I can see that
massive
being a
X.
hit. Yeah.
Maybe with
like
a
Ghostbusters,
like a candle coming out of it or something like that, like because it's a celebration.
Maybe right out of the middle.
Nick said, I don't think there should be anything going in and out of that
Protruding
ass.
into there. Okay, or out of there.
I think it should be called the breakthrough. That's probably the right
Yes.
thing, like breakthrough. Like
athlete
who
of
had
the
the
year,
biggest breakthrough year or whatever.
Yeah.
The NFL could do that. I mean, they have that full NFL honors award show. You can add another award.
Hey,
I mean,
honestly,
shit. All those other.
I don't want to. Sorry to cut you off. I just thought of Kyle Van Noy. He was drafted by the Detroit Lions. Kind of played out of position. Patriots bring him in. He all of a sudden, look what he's doing now with the Ravens. Like, there's a year he could have gotten that. Like, he was kind of, they were playing him in weird position. He just need to get into the right scheme. Like, I guess a player like that could get down this
defensive breakthrough.
Right, scheme award. There we go.
Breakthrough is definitely the answer.
Could be an I'm back. Could be a breakthrough. Could be a used to be Ash.
Used to be Ash just has a good ring
Hasn't
to it.
played
Plus,
to
it's like,
potential yet.
If you
award.
get that award, like used to be Ash, that's like the biggest. Like, look at me, just like I said I would. Like, I think it'd be kind of cool. I really do.
Zito just dropped some breaking news to me here. Jonathan Taylor has been ruled out for the Indianapolis Colts this weekend. Okay.
Come on.
I'm happy we're getting him healthy. Listen, at the end of that Steelers game, he looked banged up. He would have went back out there if he could. Misses last week's game against Jacksonville. Obviously, we need him. Would have loved to see him and Joey Flacco in the same backfield. Now with Anthony Richardson, we assuming I'm going to try to make some calls. They don't give me any answers, and I don't like asking questions to the Colts. We're assuming Anthony Richardson's going to be the guy, right, this weekend if he's back full participant. Is that how we're all viewing this?
I mean, definitely, but if Jonathan Taylor's not playing, it doesn't feel like you should roll AR out there without his starting running back. It feels like Flacco should go back out there with Trace.
That's kind of true.
Can we get a search on Ryan Kelly, too? Just had him and his wife just had another baby. Congratulations to the Kellys.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Kellys. He's been out. That's a big piece of that puzzle as well, whenever you talk about whether or not you get AR back out there. It's
Fries.
Yeah, big fries, too.
He's fractured. He's done. That was sad. That was very sad.
Brutal.
There's something going on.
What's happening? The duck back?
Yesterday. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Interesting.
Got a montage?
No. Interesting uprights. This is the first. Cuz, can you show these uprights here? So normally uprights is just one pole that comes up, and then obviously the uprights sit on that. This one's got a little. Look at that little split.
Oh, a little V.
Hopefully, is that more stable than others?
I don't know. I think it's just Oregon doing something like this is how everybody should do it. Is probably their thoughts. I wonder if that thing gets.
Those are West
taken down, easier to carry.
They lube those things up. They probably have a hinge too, where they can lower them.
You can see the hinge right there at the top of the first portion.
For me, that looks lower. I like it. The two thing makes it look a little lower.
It looks skinnier.
Does anyone still have the two poles on the uprights?
Back?
No, on the side. So it's just two
like
poles
the soccer,
you could run
like
into.
the soccer net
Remember
slash
they
uprights.
used to have those a lot. I think a couple of them still exist.
My dad and I used to break into a field in Monroeville when I was a kid to go kick late at night. They had lights over there, and they had one of those. It's like a rugby. I think isn't a rugby. Those are kind of the rugby uprights where they have the the straight up through and do the entire thing. Sorry about that, Tony. I just got distracted.
No,
I've never seen that before.
No, those are awesome. But Ryan Kelly was a full practice yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
Anthony Richards in full practice. Braden Smith full practice. Did not practice was Josh Downs for some reason. Kenny Moore did not practice. Pittman did not practice. And obviously JT did not practice. But they haven't ruled out Pittman yet.
Okay, Pittman's back. They're saying he's week to week, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, but I just saw a tweet from somebody that they haven't officially ruled him out.
Downs not practicing. That feels like news, or did I miss something?
I missed something for sure there.
I did not know Downs was not practicing. Pittman is a dog. I would assume if Pittman could play, he will. Like, that is... Michael Pittman's my favorite player on the Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, he is awesome. He shows up all the time, never complains about anything. Could as a wide receiver, especially with everything that happens. He will play if he can. And then on the defense, I don't know what's going to happen.
Zaire.
Playing?
He wasn't on the injury report, was he?
No.
Well, I just learned Josh Downs is on the injury report. I mean, these things are just happening out of nowhere. Big game this weekend for the Colts.
If Anthony Richardson is a full participant in practice, how would he not be the starter?
Yeah, he's got to go.
Exactly. Yeah, you kind of got to. I think.
Yeah.
Like, if Flack wins that game last week, comes in, beats the Steelers, has the game that he has against Jacksonville, wins that game, then I think there is like a little bit more of it. But now everybody kind of looking for the future. I think that makes sense, but I don't love it. Because once again, we got a lot of money in that roster. A lot of money in that roster, including Pittman. A lot of money in that roster. Let's try to win Anthony Richardson. Welcome back. I'm happy about it.
Welcome back, Richardson. Pat, you know baseball's still happening? You realize that? Bruce, what happened in baseball? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Great baseball is happening. Not just baseball. Great baseball.
Anytime you turn on baseball now, it feels like, either somebody just hit a homer or a grand slam or they're about to. Bruce, what happened last night?
So the Guardians forced Game 5 with the Tigers. The Tigers weren't.
Whoa. The Tigers lost?
Yeah, they weren't able to close it out. Brewski, our boy, Foxy's guy, lets up the home run there.
A baseball team with a fake name beat the Detroit Tigers?
Why are you so happy, Pat? Why are you so happy?
I love the Detroit Tigers. I love the story. I love the we don't spend any money and we're still good at baseball thing. But I heard from some Detroitan that the entire city, including the hockey team, was worried about the playoff baseball game. That's why they got their asses beat in the home opener against the Pittsburgh Penguins in Little Caesars Arena last night. I didn't know the Tigers lost and the Red Wings lost. And the Pistons are still the Pistons. I had no idea we're back to being Detroit of old. Foxy, is everything okay up there?
Yeah, everything's okay. It was a great game for the Tigers. Unfortunately, like Bruce said,
great game.
Our guy Brewski let up his first hit in the playoffs, and it was a big one. The Guardians took the lead. They won, but this is exactly what the gritty Tigers wanted. The gritty Tigers didn't want it to be easy. All right, they wanted to go to Cleveland. They wanted to be in front of Cleveland's home fans, and they said, we're going to snatch your soul. We're going to win it on Saturday, and then the Lions are going to win on Sunday, and then the Red Wings are going to keep winning. Because last night, the Red Wings, they were just focused on the playoff baseball happening at Comerica Park. So they said, we can't show the boys up.
Focus on baseball.
We can't show the boys up. We're going to allow the Penguins to win. We'll treat this as a preseason game, and that's just how it went. So we're not worried about Thursday. We're not worried about yesterday. I believe it was 6-3. Not as bad as 6-0, but I believe it was 6-3.
Okay, I like that.
Hockey town.
Are the Pens back? Are the Pens?
Oh yeah.
Are the Pens back? Yeah, is it baseball time?
Yeah,
up there,
it's baseball time now. That's cool.
Well, baseball town, hockey town, and football town. You guys, I mean, name your sport. We got it. So yeah, Saturday we'll win that. We'll win the series. We'll play the stupid Yankees, and then on Sunday we'll beat the stupid Cowboys, and we'll be ready to go.
Can't call yourself hockey town if you can't sell out your home opener.
Amen.
Well, everyone's at the baseball game.
Amen.
We're playing playoff baseball.
There's enough people there in Detroit. Yeah, I didn't realize that. They really didn't sell out the home opener hockey game?
No,
I mean, it was pretty close, but everyone was at the baseball game.
Six team?
Yeah, I guess.
The original 16.
Looking to kick 'em
original
out.
16.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What an
Foxy, they need you
embarrassment!
back there. Go stand by that sign and take a couple pictures.
Well, Comerica Park had their most attended game in the history of that park, and then they lost. So everyone said, all right, we'll take the night off. All right, let's get to the weekend. Let's get our tickets to the game on Saturday. Let's travel because we're great fans. Travel to Cleveland. We'll win that one. And then, obviously the Lions take care of business.
Was Eminem there?
At the baseball game?
Yeah.
Everybody in the 313, put your hands in your air and follow me. We got baseball. We don't care about hockey because the Red Wings stunk since the 70s.
Oh.
Is that what Eminem's saying?
No, Eminem's busy right now. He's going to be a grandpa. So congrats to Eminem.
Yeah, congrats, Congrats.
Congrats.
He says,
now, Haley, I know you miss your mom. I know you miss your dad. I'm gone. Trying to give you a life you never had. Hockey used to be good, and now we're really bad. Is that what he's saying?
No, he's never said that. All right, he's never said that one time.
I heard he did.
Really, I didn't know that. I thought that was I thought that was the thing. Anyways, baseball, Bruce. What was happening?
What else happened? The Yankees are winning too, huh, Bruce?
Yep, yeah. So the Tigers and Guardians play Game 5 Saturday. Like Foxy said, the winner of that will take on the New York Yankees, who got the job done in Kansas City. The bullpen's pitching amazing. That's Luke Weaver getting the final out right there. Just taking care of business. Not overexcited. This is what we expect to do.
Like the announcer?
Yeah, like the announcer. We're not overexcited. Punch our ticket to the ALCS. Huge that the Tigers have to throw their ace in Game 5, so the Yankees will only face him twice. And, whoever wins that series really has no chance against the New York Yankees, in my opinion.
And Game 5 tonight?
Oh, yeah. The Dads, the Padres, and the Dodgers wrap up their series tonight. It is Yu Darvish versus Yamamoto. Famous, of course, from Ty's Breaking News. He struggled in Game 1 against the Padres, while Yu Darvish has been dealing. So hopefully Slam Diego, can get the job done, and then the winner of that will obviously take on the Magical Mets, the storybook.
I know we have two Japanese pitchers battling for San Diego and LA. When's Shohei pitching? That's next round, if he was to pitch?
Probably the World Series. You'd probably have him come out of the pen if you are doing it, and it would be, after the bullpen is probably quite taxed. So I think they'd probably save it for the World Series.
Have they said he's going to pitch?
No. Probably won't.
No, but he's been doing full pitching workouts.
Yeah.
Like,
bullpen.
He's been acting as a starting pitcher, I guess, for the last couple months, right? Last month and a half?
Yeah, I think in the last month of the season, before the playoffs, he started doing bullpen work, throwing, and all that. But, the risk, they have, they got a pitching staff that's okay.
What do you mean, what's the risk? You mean his elbow? Are you talking about his health or just?
Yeah, I'm sure they would kind of rather have him come back full bore, but who knows? We'll see.
Full bore meaning like next year?
Yes.
Because, if you... Now, the only risk this year is if he hurts his elbow and he can't bat in the World Series.
Ooh. Yeah.
But he's been throwing gas over there in the bullpen, right? It's not like he's going through workouts and stages. They're saying he's back, throwing heat. I think Gumpy probably knows a little bit. He was throwing his full shit in that bullpen, right? Yeah. I think that's this is where we missed Ty, obviously, but I think he was going through full games.
Mm-hmm.
I think was the last time we talked about it, and they were talking about, well, you can't just drop him back in. It's I don't think they're just dropping him back in. I think they've been working up to him potentially. That would be a huge. Obviously, baseball is already on fire.
Yeah.
Right now, baseball is electrifying. Every single game is magical, and that Tigers game, I guess, was no different last night.
Yeah.
It was absolutely magical. You got a big time comeback, big bats hitting big balls in big moments. I mean, that's baseball, baby. But if Shohei Ohtani is going to be hitting and pitching in a World Series, that is. Hello, baseball. Congrats to the MLB. Congrats to baseball. But, yeah, I guess he's been throwing his full shit in there, really going for it.
Yeah, they're probably getting some batters in the box in there against him. I bet that's a big, big hurdle, controlling the zone with someone standing there taking hacks. But if he can do both, man, that would be, some of the coolest World Series moments we've ever seen.
And to your point...
Go ahead.
I was just going to end this by saying, to your point, Pat, I'll be honest, I love that the Tigers are doing well, and it's the reason I'm watching the playoffs. I never in a million years thought I would enjoy watching playoff baseball, all teams, this much. I said it to the boys this morning, and everyone agreed on it. But baseball has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, let's cold call Jet Pass in here to see if he has any more as we wait for Coach Saban here, because – he's been telling us that this is going to be electrifying. Going into the playoffs, he started talking about the storylines and this, and then we had Carl Ravitch on. He was talking about the storylines, and it's except for Aaron Judge, I guess, everybody else has just shown up, seemingly.
And Judge did a nice double yesterday, too. Got back on the board.
He's warming up, starting to get it going.
Stanton dominated that series. Well, kind of not won the series for the Yankees, but was definitely the hottest of the bats.
Yeah.
Stanton, I think you got to get your ears on, Coach, right over yonder. Coach, I think you got to go that way.
Oh, good. Coach Saban showing up.
Yeah, when he shows up, there's an aura. The wind didn't kick up. That was Saban.
That's true.
I don't know.
He's got a presence.
Jet passing, no answer on a cold call, which is a little bit of a bummer.
Whoa.
We will be joined here by the GOAT in a matter of moments. AJ, we're going to set this thing up. We'll see you in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, sounds good. Obviously, Bruce, going back to baseball quick. Shohei, do we know how many months out he is from his Tommy John surgery?
Ooh.
Because what's the normal?
Probably like what, a
when
year?
do guys usually come back?
Yeah, I think it is just over a year, and it is basically.
Is that normally when pitchers come back?
14 months probably.
Have you watched any of it? Because to Foxy's point, like I said, I think on Monday, I hate baseball so much. It's the worst sport ever. But I've put it on every night with the expectation of turning it off, and it's delivered every single night. Like the Guardians were down, I think 3-2, and they hit a 2-run homer to go up in like the 6th or 7th inning.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't watch a ton of baseball. I don't
watch any baseball.
I've witnessed more live home runs than I've seen in the last 6 years. I feel like when I've turned it on, I've either seen I just saw a grand slam in the playoffs.
Yes.
I've seen that where it just turned on randomly, and it's a crazy moment where guys are hitting dingers everywhere. And you're right. Baseball is legit right now.
Almost attested to the pitch clock.
You think?
Just chalk it up.
Pitch clock. Okay. Yeah. I wonder, Pat. What do you? I think you might have Coach Saban all wired up. Are you guys doing all right out there?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, obviously, the GOAT, Nick Saban.
Hell yeah,
Coach. I just tried to offer him up some local vitamins. He turned it down like a gentleman.
No.
I never know for what kind of vitamins you have.
You know what it is. They're always the same. Just want to let you know that no matter where we are. You just pointed at this. What is, you said there's a story behind this?
Well, when I coached at Ohio State, the worst job I ever had in coaching was being in charge of the Buckeye leaves. Because you got Buckeye leaf for, like tackle for a loss or big play on offense or whatever it was. So the players wanted multiple Buckeye leaves.
Absolutely.
So the coaches would do how many each guy got, and then they would come and want to lobby for more.
AJ was a big guy about that. AJ, weren't you all pissed off about the amount of Buckeye leaves you had every single week?
No, I played for Jim Tressel. There was clear rules on what got you a leaf and what didn't. So if you had any argument, he shut you down right away. We knew what was going on.
Was there people lobbying for? How about kickers and punters? You guys give any kicker and punters?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Big time punt. I hit a 50-yarder. I'm getting a Buckeye leaf.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I like that, Coach. How often have you been out here? To not just Oregon, but this stadium, this field? We got a massive one tomorrow, 2 versus 3. College football's cooking right now.
Yeah, we played here when I was at Michigan State, and obviously I came here a few times to work out players, being when I was in the NFL, but this is a hard place to play. Hard place to play.
Is it the travel or is it the fans? Is it all of it?
All of it.
Because travel, this is way out here.
Way out. But this is a tough environment in this stadium to play in. It was really difficult.
It's because that duck is riding around on a motorcycle. I don't know if you saw him earlier. He was talking his shit. I mean, he looks a little lonely. We need to talk about that. Somebody needs to help him. But this is an awesome environment. We got to be here 2 years ago. College game day kicking off at 6 a.m. Obviously, it's back-to-back weeks for that. Berkeley was awesome. This will be great. Let's talk about this game. You talk about Michigan State. Oregon plays Michigan State last week. Couple early turnovers. They inevitably end up pounding them. Sorry, Foxy. In the Oregon story this year about their team is, they win games, but have they found it? They win games, have they found it? What do you see from the Coach Lanning in this Oregon team, and what do you think they got against Ohio State tomorrow?
Well, one of the big things is they can't turn the ball over. They turn the ball over like 3 times in the red zone, throw interceptions, things like that. I mean, in games like this, you can't make those kind of mistakes. The turnover battle is important enough, but when you get the ball in the red zone and you turn it over, it's even, more inefficient, I would say. And I think, in the Ohio State, to beat Ohio State, you got to be able to run the ball. The last 6 games they lost, the other team ran for more than what they did because they're going to try to run the ball. So if you can control the line of scrimmage, you got a chance. Now, can Oregon do that? Can they match up front? That's going to be the big question.
Have you seen the stats about, it was USC, Hembo sent me this stat, and it's going to become a story about the West Coast teams against this Big Ten teams. Because Big Ten football, we've talked about it for a long time. I've seen back when you were coaching in the Big Ten, it was like this. It has been like this. Sometimes it's the most boring football in the history, but that's Big Ten football. It's a style of football that travels into the winter. It's able to handle wind and everything that Big Ten has. USC, I think they've given up the most amount of rush yards and the most amount of rush yards after contact, haven't been able to tackle basically in the Big Ten, and that's why they have kind of bared in a negative manner. This Oregon team taking on Ohio State. Ohio State's going to try to be physical at the trenches. Yeah. Is this Oregon team the best built West Coast team for Big Ten style football in your eyes?
They're one of them, but I think the big thing about the West Coast, and I've always felt this way, is you got to import big people. There's not enough big people on the West Coast. I'm talking about interior linemen, unless they're, like come from Hawaii or Samoa or someplace, because they just don't have the kind of big people that we have in the Midwest and the Southeast. So I don't know. To me, that's the big question, because the big question for Oregon going into the season is the offensive line going to be able to overcome the issues. Now, they have overcome some of the issues from the first couple games, giving up sacks, being able to run the ball a little more effectively. But to do it against Ohio State now, that's another question that needs to be answered, and we'll soon find out.
Coach Lanning, obviously coach for you, and I've heard the story about having him as a GA. You told us on this story about how Kirby basically plucked him. Whenever you went to hire him, Kirby plucked him to Georgia. Then he gets a head coaching job at Oregon. I got a chance to see him this morning. His energy is infectious. He's obviously very young. He's a head coach at a big-time program. Have you talked to him?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the job that he's done as a head coach?
I think he's done a great job. I thought he did a great job when he was at Georgia as a coordinator, and I think he's done a great job here, and they've had a fair amount of success, and I think this is the one team that can be successful in the Big Ten out here, probably more than the others. You talk about USC, but their big issue is they can't run the ball. They can't protect the quarterback. And what people don't understand, when you can't run the ball, you can't finish a game. USC's lost 2 games in the fourth quarter, and they could have taken the air out of the ball in both those games if they could make first downs on offense, and they couldn't do it. And to me, you always got to try to win the game on offense in college football, because when the other team goes 2 minutes, the clock stops too much on first downs and all that stuff. I mean, we played Penn State one time when I was at Michigan State, and we were ahead, and they got the ball with a minute 43 to go with like 1 timeout, and they ran 14 plays. And they scored with 8 seconds to go.
Yeah.
All right. So, between getting out of bounds and clock stopping on first downs, you can get a lot of plays in a short period of time. So you got to try to win the game on offense. So, and that's going to be a challenge for Oregon, even if they get ahead in this game.
Are they going to be able to handle it? Are they going to be able to handle it? Man that loves this, representing Ohio State, AJ Hawk has a question for you back in Indy, Coach.
Hey, Coach, in a big game like this, both sides will have some young guys that may have not played in a game of this magnitude, like on this stage. How do you get those guys, how do you get your team to kind of play fast and be loose and not worry about making mistakes and doing something that might cost the team the game?
Well, I think the thing you got to do is you try to focus on the things that you can control. I think when guys get affected by the magnitude of the game, the consequences of winning and losing, they get involved in social media and listening to what other people are saying. It creates a lot of anxiety because you're focused on the outcome rather than just focusing on what you have to do to play well each play. And I think that's a harder thing for younger, inexperienced players to do than it is older guys. But I think as a coach, that's what you're always trying to get your team to do. I used to tell our team all the time, it's about what we do. Sometimes we talk so much about the other team, and technically you have to. What's their offense, what's their defense, what plays you have to stop, how do we have to execute against, this front if we're running the ball or whatever it is. But it ultimately comes down to your ability to execute. So focus on what you have to do to execute on that particular play, and quit worrying about the outcome, which is creating anxiety, which is going to lead you to making emotional mistakes that are going to be costly to your team. So that's the way I tried to always approach it.
Let's talk about the outcome this early in the season. We talked about with Georgia, Bama, about how like, hey, you lose this game, there's a lot of football left, and there's a 12-team playoff. More SEC teams are going to be in than ever before. Big Ten, same exact situation. This is early for a 2-3 game. What are your thoughts on that happening this early? And I know me and the boys are pumped about a 2-3 game here in Oregon in October because it only sets up for the future massive weeks.
Well, you know, I texted Kirby and told him after the Alabama game, this might be the best thing that ever happened to you. You know, because losing early sort of gives your team a wake-up call. So all the things you've been preaching about, you know, focus, attention to detail, discipline, you know, now all those things seem to have more meaning because you had a consequence and you got humiliated to some degree anytime you lose when you're the number one team in the country, just like Alabama did last week. And I said, this may be the best thing, you know, to happen to you. Now, when you lose a game and you're a coach or a player, that doesn't resonate very well because you're kind of down in the dumps that you didn't win. But in the long run, sometimes it helps. I mean, we only had 2 teams that went undefeated the whole time I coached. And we won national championships with 1 loss most of the time.
Oh, man.
And most of the time we lost, we needed to lose because we weren't focused on the right stuff.
Okay, and I mean, it's just hilarious you can just drop that. You know, only 2 times we went undefeated.
That's it. Just twice.
only 2
No big
times.
deal. Just twice.
You done good,
In the
Nick.
end.
You done good. That's why we're lucky that you're in the college game day and college football world. Connor back in Indy has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, I don't want this to be a sour subject, okay? But when we're talking about teams losing early in the year, obviously Alabama had a rough go at it last week with Vanderbilt. And, you know, Vandy, they ran the clip of you at the end. We all thought that was unnecessary. We didn't think that should have been done, but they did that. How did you feel about that entire game? And did you talk to Kalen DeBoer about, you know, losing early like you just mentioned? And then more specifically, and you absolutely shouldn't answer this if you don't want to, but with the Malachi Moore situation at the end of the game, when things like that happen and it's in, you know, obviously a national spotlight and people are talking about it, how did you approach kind of dealing with, you know, captains and leaders of your team when things like that went down and, you know, on the field, obviously body language wasn't great at the end of the game?
Well, I got to get one thing straight with you, young bucks. You can't ask me multiple questions.
No, we have to.
Sorry, Coach.
So you asked me 2 different questions. Okay, so, you know, first of all, Malachi Moore is a great young man. He's going to be very successful in life. This was totally uncharacteristic for him. But I think this is an example of when you get frustrated and you get emotional, you make bad choices and decisions and do things that you normally wouldn't do from a character standpoint. And I think that was obviously what happened. And I know he's very sorry for, you know, the way he represented himself, his family, his team, the university, and all that. But the thing about it is you can't take those things back. So, and, you know, I think instead of just particularly talking about the Alabama-Vanderbilt game, I think that what you see is a lot of peaks and valleys in college football right now. And, you know, a lot of guys, a lot of teams that have had big wins have significant letdowns, you know, the next week. And, I always talk about complacency, but if you put a little complacency with a little arrogance because you had a big win, wherever it was, and then you don't focus on the right things the next week, you really don't get the kind of results that you'd like to have because when you're not focused on the right stuff, your execution goes to pot in a hurry. So, you know, I gave this, somebody sent it to me after Alabama got beat. It was a speech that I gave or at a press conference, but I always used the press. I used you and everybody in the press to get my message across to the team.
We thank you for allowing us to do that for you.
So, so I gave this thing, and I don't even know if I can sort of repeat it exactly right, but it was about nothing. You know, if you, what are you entitled to when you get up in the morning? Nothing. What should you expect from other people? Nothing. If you have ability and you don't have discipline and focus, what do you get? Nothing. If you don't prepare the right way and pay attention to detail, what do you get? Nothing. So nothing is more important than trying to be the best you can be every day. But that was a message that I was using the media to send that to the team after a big win. because I was always much harder on the team when we won a game, and if we won a big game, I mean, it was hell to pay. And if we lost, I was like,
build up.
Yeah.
Make us feel better. Because players all feel terrible after a massive loss.
Yeah, nobody feels worse. That's what fans don't understand. Nobody feels worse about losing than the players.
Because they're going to deal with it. And also with social media, they're going to see a lot more of the reaction. Now, you just said something about complacency, arrogance, and a lack of focus being the reason why this can rat poison. I guess that would be the...
Well, the first two contribute to the last one.
Got it.
Right?
Is that what rat poison is, though, right there?
Yeah.
Did you hear
That's
Rich
it.
Rodriguez was using that as one of his go-tos for his team against for Jacksonville State last week?
No, I didn't.
As soon as I heard it, I'm like, all right, Rich is doing his thing. Because normally he would just say, these motherfuckers, and this time he said rat poison. I enjoyed it. I like that. Watch your mouth, Coach. That's unbelievable. Tone Diggs back in Indianapolis has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, no one better to ask than this because you've been on both sides of the sideline, both sides of the ball, the situation here for LSU at night has a big one against Ole Miss this weekend. We were talking yesterday about the insane record for LSU at home at night. What is that atmosphere like, and what is the advantage that LSU has home, especially at night in Death Valley?
Well, let me just tell you a story. When I first went to LSU, they weren't very good. I think they were 3-8 the year before. And in those days, they picked what time you played based on how good you were. Because to be on the CBS game was 2:30. You had to be good because they always picked the best game. So we got to be halfway decent. We started having lots of 2:30 games, and the fans just went berserk that we weren't playing at night. And, I tried because they wanted to use the whole day to get tuned up for a night game.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Down there in the bayou.
And I tried to give them a coaching point and say, well, why can't you get half tuned up, go to the game, and then have an after party and get further tuned up?
Bingo.
All right, but they didn't buy that. All right, so my point being...
Good time. That's awesome. Sounds like fun.
Got to start earlier in the morning.
Trying to coach them up.
Juiced. They will be juiced and ready to go, and it's hard to play at LSU at night. I mean, I remember when Tua was playing for us, and we had a really good team, and we got the ball in the beginning of the game, and we went right down the field, and we got down there on about the 20-yard line in the student section. We had like 4 straight false starts. I mean, we couldn't go on silent. We couldn't go on clap. We couldn't get the ball snapped.
You've mentioned this a few times whenever they're talking about like records and outcomes. And I don't know who mentioned it, but somebody said like, playing a away game at night is tough. And you're like, well, playing an away game at LSU is a little bit tougher though. Like, are they going to factor that in whenever they're doing all the rankings at the end of it? That is a real conversation piece. I think everybody in the SEC that's coached feels should be added into it, I think, right?
No, I think you're right about that. I think it's, we've never had playoff games in college that were at a home site.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
And it will be a huge advantage, especially in the SEC, because there's so many hard places to play. I mean, it's hard to play at A&M. It's hard to play at Tennessee. It's hard to play in the Swamp. I mean, it's hard to play a lot of places. But that's why the league is what it is. The people in the Southeast have great passion for football and college athletics, maybe more so than other places, because there were no pro sports in the South early on when they grew up.
Yeah.
So they all relate to college athletics, which I think is fantastic. It was the greatest experience for me in all the places that I coach, including the NFL. And there were some hard places to play in the NFL too, but man, I tell you, the spirit and the passion in the Southeast is phenomenal.
So I grew up in Pittsburgh, NFL town, playing soccer, and then I get dropped into college football, and I'm at WVU. We're real good. So all these people that are college football experts would be like, yeah, but down in the SEC, we played at Georgia, obviously, and the Sugar Bowl beat them by 3. No big deal. We played Mississippi State down there. We played a couple different teams down there, and they were like, it's different down here. It's different down here. I never really had enough respect for it, though, because we beat them. So, like, we would beat the SEC teams that we play. Then I start doing College Game Day, and we start going down to these SEC games, and I'm like, oh, it is different down here. It's a religion. It is an actual religion in the South, these schools and these teams. Mm-hmm. And it's not just like a nice religion where they're very kind. They are ruthless down there about their teams and fully committed. It is beautiful.
But AJ, can you give me a scouting report on just how good was Georgia and how good was Mississippi State when West Virginia beat them?
Oh, it's a Sugar Bowl.
That's a great question you have there, Coach. I don't know.
Sugar Bowl, pal.
Great question. They probably had some guys sitting out, didn't they, Pat? If it was a bowl game, were they guys already sitting out back then?
No, in our era, AJ, as you know, we played bowl games. Okay, and that was the first BCS game for West Virginia. It was a big deal. Georgia had their entire team. They were eating salads at all the events. We were slamming beers. I mean, we were not prepared or ready for the moment, and we went out there and win. Fake punt from Phil Brady to seal that thing. Your Bama team could have got it. Let's not.
West Virginia was very good back in the day.
Okay, and we got the Coal Rush game this
Hell
week. I don't know if you know that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We're in all blacks, Iowa State. Some are saying it's a must-win for Neil Brown. A must-win for Neil Brown.
Iowa State's pretty good, though. I mean, I watched them this week, and quarterback's good. They play well on defense. They got 9 starters back on offense and defense. So this is going to be challenging. They got a more mature team, probably play better on the road, but Mountaineer Field's not an easy place to play either. I'll give you that.
You're damn right, Coach. AJ has another question for you.
Coach, my question is just for you personally. Like, do you like game day? How are you enjoying yourself week to week? Because you're awesome on there, and it looks like you're having more and more fun every single week we watch. I know, Pat's trying to feed you tomahawk steaks, and you guys all have fun on there. But how are you enjoying yourself? Because it seems like you're having a good time.
I do, and I think the thing I enjoy most is it keeps me involved in the game. And you look at the game different. When you're coaching a team, you're looking at everything through a straw. Your team and who you're playing. But being on College Game Day, for the first time in my life, really, I'm seeing college football from 1,000 feet. Looking at all the teams. Like when I was coaching Alabama, I knew what Nebraska was like, or Oregon. We didn't play them. So, and it's kind of fun. And I like it. And I think we have a great team on College Game Day. I enjoy Pat. I enjoy, Kurt. I enjoy all the guys. So I still feel like I'm a part of the team, which I was my biggest fear getting out of coaching and retiring is not being a part of a team. So, all those things are good. And I think we can do good things. And I want to commend, Pat on the fact that he took the reins on, us making a contribution to, the people up in North Carolina that are struggling, and shows what kind of compassion he has and how much he cares about for other people and how he's willing to help. So I'm happy to be a part of that too.
All right. Well, Miss Terry and Coach did a lot for us to kind of find the right groups to go right to boots to ground with our donation. And while you were talking, thank you for the compliment. Obviously, you're awesome. But he's the coach of this team too. Mm-hmm. AJ, you know that though. Yeah. You know that, AJ.
Oh yeah.
So whenever he speaks, it's like, all right, let's listen to this because whatever's coming out of his mouth is going to be fucking better than whatever's coming out of our mouth. Whether it's TV, football, whatever it is, you have been a phenomenal asset. And I'm not. This is not me just saying that because you're sitting here. I've said that to the boys. Mm-hmm. I've said that to everybody. You are awesome to be around, brother. You are you just spill knowledge and information out of your mouth every single day, every single moment, every single conversation. There's just some sage advice that comes through. And we appreciate you sharing it. I want to let you know that very much.
But 50 years of doing it and having some really good mentors, along the way. I mean, being with Belichick for 4 years, and Don James was my college coach and was great in terms of how he impacted and influenced me, and just about everybody that you ever coach for, assistants as well as head coaches, give you some ability to learn something new that is helpful in creating a philosophy. And I didn't invent anything in this game, but I learned a lot from a lot of people.
Well, you invented a dynasty at Alabama, so whenever they lose to Vandy, people lose their shit. Were you excited watching the Vandy fan reaction? That's what college ball is about, I think. And Vandy hasn't had a lot of those moments. Sucks that it's Bama. Obviously, you're very close to that. A lot of season left. But those students taking the field goal post through the city down to the river, it's like them getting to experience college ball, I thought was awesome.
It is awesome. And I think it's good for the SEC if Vanderbilt is good and has hope and has a chance, and I think they do. The quarterback, their offense, they've done a really good job this year they beat Virginia Tech. I mean, that's a significant accomplishment as well, and I think they do have, hope for, hopefully having maybe a chance to have a winning season.
That was a good compliment.
Yeah.
That was a good compliment of Vandy you just put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they deserve it. I mean, they beat Alabama, number 1 team in the country at the time. But that just goes to show you that there's nothing that you do.
How pissed were you watching that game? How pissed were you watching that game? You were so mad. They were up 28-0 on Georgia. You were mad. I couldn't imagine that Vandy game. I couldn't imagine.
Well, I didn't get to see it until I got home. It was over about the same time I got home, and so I watched it on tape. So that was really hard.
Replay. I can't believe we're doing this. That's awesome. You still invested? Still talk to those people? Did you talk to Kalen after that game or no?
I did not. I talk to them when they do something well, and I just didn't want to get in the way this time.
Smart. I mean, that's probably a good idea. Kalen DeBoer just waiting for a Coach Saban text.
Yeah.
I can't believe we lost to Vandy either. Something you never did. That is another incredible stat that comes from your entire career of being excellent. It has been an honor to be your teammate on game day. You've been crushing it, brother. Even on the internet, there's memes. I mean,
dominating.
The bits, the football information. How about you saying Stanford Steve's girlfriend from Cal? I mean,
that was a good one. That was a good
You're batting 1,000 right now, brother. You're batting 1,000 right now. It's fun to watch.
One thing I would like to comment on, though, is, talking about Kalen, I always really put a lot of pressure on the assistant coaches because they're kind of your lieutenants to get the message to the team. And I think Kalen has been doing a good job of getting the right message to the team, but everybody in the organization has to reinforce that because they're the people that sit in the meetings every day with the players, and they got to impact that. And, Vandy was 12 for 18 on 3rd down.
Can't have it.
Woo. I mean, that's there's no way. That's why they have the ball for 76 plays in the game or whatever. You got to get off the field on 3rd down. Now, it's the good news is you created 18 3rd down, so something got done right before that.
Yeah, first 2 downs, I guess, going good. God, Vandy running your video immediately afterwards from our show. Did you hear about this?
That's not right, Coach.
No.
You have not heard about this?
Oh, man.
No. I don't know.
Consider me a newsbreaker. So,
Coach, sit down.
Coach, on our show. You are sitting. This is good news. On our show, we were in Oklahoma. Is that what it was?
Yes.
We were in Oklahoma, and we talk about the SEC and home environments. And you rattled off a lot of places that are good environments. And you said, really, the only place that is easy to play is Vandy. Yeah. You said it, and it was like a passing comment, obviously. And I think it's been relatively true for a very long time. So as soon as they get that win this past weekend over Bama, they run that clip in the stadium immediately afterwards, and the place goes crazy, obviously. So you were there.
Yeah, but if you looked at the stadium, half the people were Alabama.
Good point.
And you say that in the clip, Coach. You say that in the clip. No disrespect to Vandy.
The whole one side was red, yeah.
You're awesome. All right, I can't wait to see you 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Should be an absolute blast. Thank you for everything. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, have you talked to Tua? That's a good question.
Yeah, I talked to Tua.
How's he doing? Everything good?
He seems to be. He was good. I talked to him right afterwards, and, he's good. He's always positive and, very enthusiastic. And, Terry talks to his mom a lot, and, they want prayers from everybody out there to try to help him, get well. He really wants to play, whether he ever can play or get the opportunity to again. I guess that's a medical decision somebody has to make. But, Tua's the best. I mean, and I hate it for him because he's such a good person, does everything the right way. He's the only player that I ever had that if you ask him, how you doing today? He says, great, Coach, thanks for asking. I mean,
every time.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's just phenomenal, and you love to see people like that, have success and not have this kind of adversity, but hopefully he'll be able to overcome it.
All right, hell yeah, Coach. We appreciate you.
All right,
have a good one, brother. Ladies and
it.
gentlemen, the GOAT, Nick Saban.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it, Coach.
Absolute weapon.
Yeah, he is an absolute weapon. I love what he's doing. I mean,
him watching the whole game on tape. I wish there could be like a live stream
because it wasn't
that
good.
as like a watch along.
Because there's so many watch alongs now all over the internet of different games and everything.
Could you imagine watching him just go through those 3rd downs?
I mean,
12 of 18.
I don't know if he would ever agree
you think he's
to
just
it.
Like Jesus.
There's no way he would agree to put the camera.
No
like,
way.
Hey, Coach, don't worry. The camera's just going to be just a mounted camera in front of you. We just want to get a feel like
just watch
what's going on. Just watch the game. If he forgot that camera was there, That'd be very fun.
Yeah, just like a little GoPro in the corner of the room would be awesome. It also makes so much sense that he had no idea they did that at Vandy after the game.
Literally right after.
Yeah, it was perfect.
He is right, though. If you look at the video that they, like, when they put it on the screen, the entire one side of the stands was red. Like,
yeah. And did they cut out the part where he said, no offense to Vandy, or he mentioned that in the clip? I'm guessing Foxy, they did not put that part in the clip.
Yeah, I assume they cut it out.
No, they just
you should, obviously. If you're going to run it, you should cut that out.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
They just did the only easy place to play in the SEC is Vandy. That was the only part they put in.
Hey, credit to them for having that thing on tap.
I was going to say,
they were probably like, hey, in the if we somehow win this game,
Just
make
in
sure
case.
we have this thing ready. So probably towards the end of that thing, they made sure they potted that thing up, I bet.
Yeah, it was perfect. And, Vandy's a good team.
See what's
the reality we live in.
See what's going around the internet?
What's going on the internet?
What's that?
Well, you're not going to love this, Pat.
What's going? Hold the phone. I don't. What's going around the internet? There's a lot of things going around the internet.
Yeah, a lot. I don't know if you're helping it either because obviously you changed your profile pic to black and white.
I for the Coal Rush, brother.
Oh yeah, I assumed it was for the Coal Rush, but a lot of people were saying that the Mountaineers are just copying Oregon because Oregon is doing the blackout this weekend, and they're saying that West Virginia is just copying Oregon this weekend.
What?
No.
Who's saying that?
The
Nobody
internet. The internet is.
No,
coal rush.
Not the coal mine. There's no coal in Oregon. There's trees.
You got that helmet right. That helmet right in front of you. They're doing the blackout this weekend.
The coal miners has been playing for months
now. They're saying WVU's blackout is just Mickey Mouse.
Connor, go get the box. Go get the full box. You think this was just copying? Go get the box, Connor. This has been prepared. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about the Oregon blackout because it's going to be awesome here. And Oregon's fits and gear are always amazing. But don't just act like the Coal Rush weekend here has just been tossed together at the last moment because we heard Oregon was doing it. This is months of preparation, years of preparation for this, actually. Thank you, Connor. Showcase it,
Show
please.
it, comment. Can you pull it up?
This shit's been planned, okay?
Is that a coal miner's helmet?
It's blackout. This shit's been planned. Yeah, what's this?
Show the message. Show the message on the top of that thing. On the look at that.
Built on bravery, bitch.
Yeah, I agree.
See that?
I agree.
Excited to share the Built on Bravery collection with Mountaineer fans.
Oh, I
Thank
you. Read
you.
that whole thing.
What?
Nah, it's a lot of words.
Yeah.
A lot of words, which means very prepared.
Maybe you
very
should put on that helmet and go to work.
Okay, so that's not a football helmet, though.
Do they do this?
Boom.
Do they do this in Oregon? I
don't think so.
In Oregon. They have that shit in
You
Oregon.
look so cool.
I don't think they do. Because it's coal miner shit, bitch. This is a real
What about that box? You think Oregon's got that box? I don't think that's heavy duty box, Connor. Tell him.
Heavy duty box, shit's basically made of coal. You ever seen one of these? You got one of these?
No, I don't. But I thought you were going to show us a helmet and a jersey. You have none of that.
That's
there's
a
only
helmet.
only 3 helmets were created. They were given to Pat White and Pat McAfee and Owen Schmidt.
Oh, they're real football helmets?
Out of
you mean?
respect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Jay, that was at West Virginia. Thanks for paying attention to the program. Obviously, they gifted us that. And whenever they debuted this uniform, went crazy viral. Ren Baker told us that. Okay, he says most viral uniform that they've ever debuted. So this has been long in the making. And Connor looks better than he's ever looked in his entire life.
True,
right
by
now.
far, without a doubt. See this?
So are the jerseys, are they going all black because, like, when you came out of the coal mine, you were all black? Because,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
from
AJ.
practice, from
I'm just asking some questions because nobody clarified anything through this. From this box.
It's coal miners, bitch.
Have you never seen the movie where he comes out and he's got the black lung and he's covered in soot?
Which, I mean, there's a lot of movies like a coal mine.
A Zoolander, brother.
I appreciate the fact that Neil Brown and the West Virginia Mountaineers, Ren Baker, are paying tribute to the coal miners of West Virginia because obviously that state has been founded on blue-collar, badass workers who go underground to get stuff that the rest of the country needs. And that helmet right there is what's going to be flying around on Mountaineer Field in Milan Puskar Stadium, taking on Iowa State in a must-win Big 12 game. So I don't like that the internet's seemingly saying we're mocking it. Nah, nobody's like West Virginia, especially when we're paying tribute to the coal miners of West Virginia. I hope you feel terrible now, AJ Hawk, and you, Tone Diggs,
I was just
for relaying the message.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have relayed it. That's all me.
I don't feel terrible.
Bingo, I hope you feel terrible.
I
relaying that
do
message.
feel, but you know me, I feel terrible easily.
Well, yeah.
Well, good. I hope it happens for the rest of the weekend.
No,
I hope it
that's
happens
a
for the
long
rest-
time.
Pat, tell the Colts. Why don't you tell the Colts to get on this train instead of putting the blue?
They did. They got the midnight Indiana Nights right there.
Brother. You got to go all
AJ,
black.
pay
out.
attention
all
one
black,
time.
No, all black. Your helmet's got to match as well.
Right there.
It is
Indiana
all
Nights,
black.
brother.
Yeah, not in the game.
You're going to see GG running wild in the coal mine.
Oh, yeah.
Brother.
I like West Virginia squad. I really do.
It doesn't sound like
I like the splunking light too, right there on the.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I would never
just so you know, it's
splunk.
real deal.
Yeah.
On the
What's
actual
that?
helmet, there's a spelunking.
I would never go spelunking. I'm not
No.
crawling through a tiny little gap. I'm not doing that.
No,
You
not
wanna
on
go
a football
spelunking?
helmet. I'm talking
it's
about.
white right
No,
here
I-
on purpose. It's just like it's
Might
just
be
like a
the
light bulb.
same deal.
It's gonna be the last thing Iowa State sees when we're running into the end zone, bitch.
That's right.
Well, actually, it'd be the back of your helmet.
It'd be behind, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the back of your helmet. Yeah, right there.
Well,
That's
no, because
be
they're
what
going
they
to run
see.
through a motherfucker's face. Duh.
Yeah.
For the coal
Shout out
miners.
to GB.
For the coal miners,
I forgot about
baby.
it. I didn't know. Tone, that's got me feeling a certain type of way here.
That's
That
not.
does.
Has it got you feeling nicey or?
We can all wear specialty uniforms.
Oregon's paying
Okay.
respect to coal miners too. How about that?
Thank you, Oregon.
They're getting in
Thank
on the
you,
action.
Oregon. Thank you, Oregon, for paying respect to the West Virginia coal miners.
Holy
that is very nice of them.
Exactly.
Oh,
They're
they're,
pretty cool.
they're wearing Splinter Cell jerseys. Holy fuck.
Those are way cooler.
Brother, what?
Foxy said that.
Foxy,
Those are way cooler.
It's Oregon. This is where it was created. Of course, it's going to be super cool. We walked through so many buildings, and there were so many super cool shoes and gear and merch and jerseys and there was this wall of helmets. It was just every color you could imagine, including dipped in 24 karat gold, just kind of run right down the wall. We got a pink one, obviously, for October, all black one, a green one, a white one, a yellow one, a gold one. It was just like right down the hallway, like perfection. It's like this is what Oregon's been doing for a long time, though. This is the jerseys, obviously, that represent the pillars of the Oregon football program under Dan Lanning. But it's like, AJ, I said that earlier to Dan, but it was real. When you and I were coming out of high school and in college, we would see pictures of the Oregon locker room. And then Oregon would play on the field, and it's like, they got 8 alternate jerseys. That's so cool. If we had one alternate jersey, we thought it was awesome at West Virginia. And then Nike was giving out the school contracts for merch and for uniforms all around college ball. Now they're all kind of settled into, there's a couple Under Armour, there's a couple Adidas, a lot of schools are Nike teams, but that didn't happen. West Virginia was a Nike school, but then there was levels to the negotiations and the contracts. It's like Oregon has been at the max Nike contract since literally the beginning of Nike, and that's a massive weapon for them, but their uniforms are sick. Yeah. And did they give as much effort creating the coal miner uniforms as they did their own uniforms? I don't know. And I would like somebody to investigate that a little bit, but everybody, once again, can wear blackout uniforms whenever they want to look incredibly sweet and have their stadium look daunting. I'm here for it all. But yes, Oregon has sweet shit here. A lot of it. And that's why we all wear their shoes, because they look sweet. Yeah. They look sweet. Yeah. And their clothes, because they look sweet. And their uniforms are no different, brother. No, Ohio State's a Nike school, right, I assume?
Oh, yeah. They've been Nike forever, but they don't. We never wore like alternate jerseys or anything. Now they do alternate things throughout the year. They wore all gray.
I think they're going all white
a couple
this
days
weekend,
ago.
which is sweet.
They have great black jerseys too.
Yeah, they have sweet. They can wear all black with
They wore the
black
all
helmets,
gray
yeah.
last week.
Yeah, last week was all gray.
But they're not as cool as the coal miner.
They're not like Oregon. Well, I mean, like the coal miners. Yeah, I guess you might be. I guess it's all eye in the beholder, right? Depends.
What?
Subjective.
No, it's not. There's no eye of beholding anything. It's everybody.
all subjective. It's art. It's subjective.
What's the toughest job?
Coal miner uniforms are cool.
They are. You're
They're
right.
cool.
But there's levels to that as well.
Yeah, in the coal miner
No,
shit
it's
on the top
yeah.
level.
Oh, it's top. That's the tip. The tippy top.
Yeah, because where they go to work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Down there.
Way down there.
Closest you can get to hell.
Are you?
Way down there.
I thought we don't like coal anymore. Do you like coal now? Aren't you killing the earth?
Who's we? Who is we? Okay, you just throwing we in there. That's a whole state down there. Okay, I know everybody wants to kind of do it. Okay, it is a dangerous gig too. Obviously, those mines. It's a very dangerous. But that is why paying respect to them is awesome. And uniform games are only getting better and better. You talked about not having an alternate whenever you were playing. It's like nowadays, it's like coming up with a sweet alternate is a part of like your program. Like that is to debut it and to roll it out, and also for recruiting. And That's the thing about these kids that are playing 3.5 games and then saying, "Now I'm redshirting myself." You might miss a cool black uniform in week 5.
So true.
You have no idea.
That's
you have no idea what's around.
Jeez.
All right, let's get to a break, huh? Because I'm about to pee my pants.
We'll get to a break, and then after that, we'll do our picks
Holy
for the week, right?
shit, look at this cowboy hat. He could probably hear me because I got these ears on. There is a cowboy hat that just walked onto this field down here.
Zoom.
We're talking big bucket down here.
Can see it. There he is.
Poking his head around. Looks like he could be the sheriff of this fucking town.
Oh, he might be.
Yeah, that's a
That
big
guy's directing
lid.
traffic.
You got a bolo.
That guy's directing
Steve.
traffic.
Steve.
I didn't know they had those here in Oregon.
What if he pulled a 6-shooter out and just pointed it at you from there?
If you yell cowboy, he'll answer to that.
Sheriff?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'm right here. I'm right here. Yeah? Who's that? What you need?
Wow.
He's going.
Look
What
at
you
him.
need?
We got cowboys in Oregon.
Who's he looking at? Who's he talking to? Is there another guy there, Pat?
There's 2 guys over here that I was just talking to that give me the answer. They know his name. This guy's... What's his name? Rocky. Of course. That guy's name is Rocky.
makes sense. Shoot fit.
There are cowboys up here in Oregon. He is an Oregon native. Rocky don't play no fucking games either. Whenever that cowboy hat hits this field here, whenever it hits Rich Brooks Field, they know shit's on. 2 versus 3 this weekend. Rocky's here. That means we can officially start, AJ. I'll see you on the other side of this break, bub.
All right, I'll see you, bud.
Come on back.
Yep, see you.
I'm back.
Well, nonetheless, as of February 1st, Pat McAfee's officially a contributor with WWE.
Living his dream to be a part of WrestleMania.
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
I've been preparing for this my entire life.
McAfee wins! McAfee wins! Pat McAfee has done it again! It's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever. Stunner!
There was a point in my life, all I could think about doing was professional wrestling.
McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory.
First, we're going to have to get the okays, obviously. And we did from people high up. They were the only people that knew for a while. There was like 3 people that knew in the whole world that was going to potentially be a situation for a little bit.
City of Stars, Boston Connors here. We will be there tonight. Nobody's supposed to know we're here. It's going to be tough. And if you're a man that's only known for wearing tank tops, you kind of got to cover it up. I didn't see him. Hey, I'm Pat. Nice to meet you. He's hanging in the back. One second. Here you go. I put this on my face. I feel shit. Who's on the game here?
Nobody. This is you until you go out.
Come on, dude. Let's go and take a look around. There's some bunk beds there. You know, there's a shitter and a shower here in the back.
He sat in that bus 6, 7, 8 hours, 9, 10 hours.
I'm coming down that thing. Holy fuck, what a view that's gonna be. Hell yeah. Look at all those fucking people that are gonna be there.
Just waiting, for an opportunity to potentially have a WrestleMania moment.
It's ridiculous. This is awesome. WWE is just like the best at operating. They take care of the non-obvious. So we're very thankful to be here. And tonight should be fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
I think there's like 3 people that know I'm here.
Are we not supposed to come in here?
No, yeah.
All right.
4 now. Look at you.
Won't fucking say a word.
I'll see you at SoFi. You gonna be in LA?
I don't know. George is,
It's a loaded question.
George, we don't know. George, you don't know. Maybe.
What's up, Stud?
Oh, nice.
As soon as I saw George showcase that tight end University tank top, I knew there was a chance old George about to do something special.
Are you kidding, boys? Welcome to WrestleMania!
The night was getting late. We weren't sure. We didn't know if a moment was going to pop up where maybe my services could be utilized.
I haven't been in a ring since SummerSlam. Okay, like not even in one.
All I wanted was the Miz to have an opportunity to have a match, just a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, good guy. Stand there.
And then the Miz mentions, I sent out an open challenge, and we go,
oh my God.
There it is.
And I put out an open challenge, and no one responded. Why? Because I'm the Miz,
and I'm awesome!
Let's go!
Wait a minute! I feel Pat McAfee's here!
I have walked out into a stadium as a WWE superstar probably a million times in my head.
WrestleMania was missing Pat McAfee in the Pat McAfee Show!
And I'm thankful to the WWE Universe that said hello whenever I came out on that massive fucking stage.
By the way, there's only 2 announcers undefeated in WrestleMania history, me and Pat. I can't believe McAfee's here.
Hello, beautiful people.
What's up, Snoop?
What's up, Snoop?
You're a legend, dog. You're the best, dog. Hello, Miz. None of us saw this alleged open challenge that you said. But good news. This is my WrestleMania tank top. If you still would like a match, why don't you let me beat your ass right here, right now? You all want to see The Miz versus Pat McAfee right here, right now? I'm the host of WrestleMania, and I cannot make matches official. Miz, I do believe your tiny balls are showing. Tiny balls. Tiny balls. Baby meat as well. There's 80,497 people here. Somebody has to be able to make a match official somewhere.
I am the dog father and the host of WrestleMania, so I feel like I can make that match happen. Right now, we got a ref, we got you, Let's get cracking. I'm out. Let's go.
And McAfee go right after Miz with the right hand, driving Miz back into the corner. Pat McAfee in action. This is a blatant sneak attack. He takes his duties as host of WrestleMania. Oh yes, Spinebuster! This derelict shows up. And check out his tank top though. He's got sparkles on it. You're behind this, aren't you? But no, I had no idea. You said the same thing in the Rumble. I didn't know this guy was showing up. Oh, what a kick by McAfee! Miz.
Hey, baby boss! Baby boss! Tiny meat!
In a $7,000 tuxedo. Yeah, good. George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not sure how wise that was. McAfee's got the official distracted in the ring. Kittle just took out Miz. Kittle telling McAfee to go on top. McAfee heading up to the top rope. And taking out the Miz. Now we're talking. Miz may never win another match. McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory. The all-decade punter with a punt to end this thing. Here's your winner, Pat McAfee. A surprise here tonight, and WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
That match was awesome. I had so much fun there. That was a good time. The punt was fucking hilarious. You got a tiny balls champ going. I had a feeling. You're staying here all day. Oh, I wanted to text you earlier. I was told not to text you.
Well, of course. Nobody fucking texts
I was
you.
told not to text you. You had a hell of a show.
I'm so thankful to the people at the WWE. It was a super cool night, super cool moment, and I'm very thankful for it all.
5:30 a.m. Sunday. This day started 6:30 a.m. Saturday. So much cool shit happened in between now and then. Joke of an existence. I'm very thankful for everything. Let's go take a nap.
Why?
All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. This is just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig!
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Welcome back, hour 3 of the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat as he is out in Eugene, Oregon, having a great time. Obviously called Coach Lanning earlier. Football! Panic, Pat. I freaked out. I lost it right there. I was so pumped about the game that you were playing. I got all juiced up. What do you think, Pat? You want to do our picks eventually here?
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to get in the picks. You talk about game that you're playing. There's a roll of dice with some of these edibles, I think. You know, it's just there's a lot.
Not enough
and
numbers.
it's certainly in a piece, but where is it in the piece? You know, is always
these are
the roll
homemade?
of the dice. No, they're not homemade, but there's just, I mean, it's
Stop by a garage.
Tone, I don't want to break any news here to you. I know you're not a big edible enjoyer.
Not a big freak out.
So, yeah. And I guess scientists in the people that are making these have gotten much more exacto. But normally the amount that's in there is like somewhere in the piece.
Okay.
You know? Like, so it's not like equa spread out everywhere. So, like, there's a couple here that I bought that are just one big piece, and they got, I don't know, 500 in it. It's like, well, is this bite over here, if I was to 1/50th this, is that 10? Or is that potentially 1/50th of a bite, but 1/2 of the 500? You know, there's always, that's kind of the game you're playing there. Yeah, so dispersion. That is a good word there from the Talks the Table at Boston Connor, sitting next to Bruce Brown, sitting in for Ty Schmidt. Congratulations to Ty Schmidt. That's one half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone, who does not like to dabble with the edibles, but you get to some of these states, you got to try out their local vitamins. I'm certainly doing that, and a roll of the dice is coming here in a matter of moments, I assume, after the show ends.
Quick question. Oh, I forget his name already. How was the Cowboy? I saw you talk to him.
Rocky.
Come on.
Cowboy's name's Rocky. He's down there with Pete. These boys are wiring the game. Okay, so we got cameras getting installed. We got things being connected everywhere on the side. What's that?
Thamel? Pete?
No. This is blue collar. We're talking
Pete
stuff.
Thamel. You're talking Pete Thamel, blue collar. I thought Pete actually rode the duck out on the motorcycle.
You think you give Pete an extension cord? You think he has any idea of around the elbow thing? What do you think he does with that?
Definitely not.
He has to.
But I
no way.
He has to.
Pete Thamel,
What do you think? He stares at it and just throws it on the ground?
I think we should call Pete. Yeah, we should call Pete. That's a good call.
You're on a rap.
He would see that thing and he would go, somebody should put this somewhere. You know, I think that's what Pete Thamel would say. No offense, he's got so much information coming and going through the brain, except for that type of stuff. But there's a full crew here. I just got a chance to meet them. We actually are sharing the same bathroom down there, so I got to smell some of their work immediately afterwards, as well as see some of their work on the stadium. These boys are certainly getting after it. But we got cameras everywhere. Here. They said this is the most amount of cameras they've ever had for a game.
That's awesome.
Boom.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the authority of college football, Pete Thamel.
Hell yeah, Pete.
Thanks for the warning, guys.
Hey, no problem. Actually, getting a couple warnings here. Hey, so your name kind of got dragged there a little bit in some circles, but some people think probably very understanding. If you were to get like a 15-foot extension cord, 20-foot extension cord, how would you go about bundling said thing, Pete, if you had to do that?
If I had a 15-foot extension cord, how would I bundle it?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably use the over-the-shoulder tech.
Boom!
Yeah.
Boom! He got you. He got you.
Hell yeah,
Pete.
Pete.
Technique.
Oh my God, Pete, that's a big deal. Pete, our relationship grew today. That's awesome.
All right. Yeah. I really feel that.
Pete, this is a good thing, not a bad thing. Pete, this is a good thing, not a bad. What is the over-the-shoulder thing? Is that the elbow thing, or are you actually throwing over shoulder?
I think you throw over the shoulder. You know, the elbow gives you a little leverage, but I think you roll over shoulder. It's almost like a garden hose, right? That's what I would equate it to. You're gonna, your hose is all like unruly on the lawn. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Pete.
Unruly on the lawn. That hose needs to be bundled. All right. I appreciate you so much. Any news we need for the weekend here as we do college football stuff?
Expect Cam Rising to play tonight, which is you got to be happy for that young man, right, Pat? Obviously, we spent some time with him in Utah last year. He is. It has been a struggle, so we'll see how much he can rip it with his finger issues. Fingers are tricky for quarterbacks, but I would start there, and then for the rest of the weekend. LSU's
No.
Don't
give us yet. Don't give us yet. Game day tomorrow. You'll do it. Game
Tone's
day
got
tomorrow.
something.
I don't want to give.
Tone's got something. Pete.
I was gonna ask about the injuries in that game. We'll wait for game day tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Well, wait for game day. Wait for game day. Wait for game day. Wait for game day.
Way to tease him.
We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. The Authority, Pete Thamel. Thank you.
Hell yeah, Pete.
There you go. He knows how to do. He knows exactly what he's doing.
He said the shoulder wrangle. I didn't.
An unruly hose.
And he mentioned he knows what a hose is, and he's mowed grass before.
I'm very surprised and impressed. Like legitimately.
Yeah.
Aren't you? For shoot.
I didn't know what type of unruly hose he was talking about, to be honest with you.
Are you talking
in the lawn?
He's used to it, probably.
In the lawn?
Sometimes you got a bundle.
You guys are talking about a thermal hose, I believe,
Connor
what you're
is, yeah.
referring to. He's talking about in the lawn. He's talking about a garden hose, which maybe, yeah. Anyways, let's do our picks.
Yeah,
I don't want him to break any news here. We got big news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to save that.
Pete Thamel, whenever he's breaking that news on game day each week, that's first time for a lot of us hearing it too. So I get like real excited. I'm like,
nice.
ooh, you'll hear me every once in a while, ooh, but I don't want to knock Pete off of his game, which now that I'm knowing that he's wrangling hoses and shit, I think Pete's a little bit more durable and sturdy than we thought he was before done in this. All right, let's do some picks, shall we, AJ?
Yeah, here we go. Hey, Jaguars taking on the Bears. What the Jags are, does it say 1 point dogs in Chicago? Did I see that correctly?
It's in London.
In London.
Oh, yeah. 9:30. Can't wait. That's awesome.
Yeah, you can watch this game on NFL Plus, which NFL Plus has NFL Network available to anybody who subscribes. And then remember, NFL Plus Premium. NFL Pro is available for everybody that wants to go deep inside, but obviously the London game is an exciting one because it's 9:30 a.m. Now, a lot of people would say, and I am one of the victims of said thing, Jacksonville has London games figured out. That would be like an easy way to kind of talk about this game because they have. Now, Jacksonville, fresh off their juggernaut of an offensive performance that they had against a very sound Indianapolis Colts defense. And Trevor Lawrence seemingly making decisions that we haven't seen him make since last Thanksgiving against the Indianapolis Colts versus every other team that he's played against. So for that reason and that reason alone, I will take the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though I am a massive fan of the Chicago Bears.
Man, the whole Jacksonville in London situation, I wonder how many of these players that have wins in London that are on this current roster. We know Jacksonville's been playing there for a while, but you know what, Pat? I see Zeet's little head is just peeking at me through the window over there, and that just gave.
What's he saying?
It's saying pick the Bears. Like that's all. He didn't even have to. He didn't mouth it to. He didn't say anything, but I can just see the little twinkle in his eyes. I'm taking the Bears here -1.
Wow. Zeet, is there? What are your thoughts on it? 9:30 a.m. That's early victory stakes, pal.
I know. I can't wait. Early stakes is always good. Maybe I'll have it with eggs. But Brisker not playing is definitely concerning me.
Yeah.
He's been key on the defense.
But
he had a concussion. But I don't know.
They got that home win streak, and technically this is a home game.
Well, yeah. Think about that, though, is it's in London. So does that affect if we lose?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It does.
Yeah, it counts.
Losing's not an
I
option,
don't think
Zeke.
so. I don't think so.
It has to be
I
in
think
Soldier Field, right?
I would assume that because technically, I guess Jaguars at Bears there, even though that's going to be a Jags home game because Jags have been there 1,000 times seemingly. You remember whenever there was a conversation that the Jags are going to move to London full time?
Yeah.
That has seemingly kind of cooled off, hasn't it?
Yeah, they are there for 2 weeks, though, because they're playing next week's London game as well. So this is
They're playing 2 London games.
They're playing back-to-back London games.
Extended trip.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Can't lose the first one. No. If you're going 2 weeks.
The Bears also been there since Monday.
Oh, they
beat them out there, I believe.
Isn't there a stat? Teams that go out there first have a worse record.
Ooh. I don't want to hear it.
Let's go for the Jags.
Good for Jags.
We had a strength and conditioning guy. He was a good dude. Bald head. Dog. I forget his name right now. That's on me. Good. That's on me. He's going to hear this, I assume, and just coach. That's coach. He was with another NFL team. Okay, they did the London game, and they lost the way they did it. So he had a full pitch deck, I guess, about what needs to happen to win. And we did it the complete opposite way that they did it, the team that he was on before and lost, and we lost. So I think situations are situational in this particular case.
Amen.
Like there's some people go over early. Maybe there's too many distractions. Oh, but they get used to the time zone. Oh, they get used to a new routine because remember, going to London breaks the routine. Well, not if you change a routine early in the week. It's like there's so many different ways you can argue for and against it. And then inevitably, whatever happens on the field is going to be whatever it is. I think that's how I view it all. As somebody that played in the game, heard both cases for when we should go over, was hoping we'd go over earlier so I could go do a European vacation. We go late, I stay in Haas the entire time, get a massage next to Joe Philbin, and then we go out and lose to Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I don't think it even matters, but Jacksonville seemingly has it figured out, more so than others.
Yeah, they do. So you have Jacksonville, I'm on the Bears, and now we're going to what Cleveland is taking on. Man, they're traveling.
Yeah, and I cannot see that screen. There is pretty good sun glare on the screen.
Well,
so you are going to have to be the one that's going to be right, which is not great for this particular
We'll double
segment.
check them.
They'll definitely double and triple check me. But the Browns, 9.5-point dogs on the road against the Eagles. What are you thinking here?
Dogs. Speaking of dogs, thank you, dogs. Off camera, just beat the sun for me there real quick. Just turn this thing, drop this thing down. 9.5.
It's a lot of points.
Jameis Winston was dancing.
Great moves. Great moves.
Of course.
AJ, did you see it?
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah. Billy Jeans, not mine. And Jameis, hit that thing. And the whole team looked like they understood and recognized the importance of this particular game against Philadelphia Eagles. So with that being said, he needs to be the starter. For that to happen, they're going to have to lose again. And it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Philadelphia Eagles cover at home, 9.5, because that's too many points for this type of game.
Man, 9.5. So you got Philly at home. Give me the Browns. 9.5. I don't know. Like, find a way to lose by 7, maybe. Right? Let's figure it out.
Yeah, 9.5 is a lot of points, brother. That's a lot of
I'm
points.
thinking like a late garbage TD or something just to get them to cover maybe for the Browns. That's what I am hoping for here. Who knows what the Browns are week to week. Pat, we move on. Arizona taking on Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. Arizona's 5-point dogs on the road against the Packers.
Cardinals show up against the Niners in a big way.
Oh, yeah.
Kyler looked awesome. They even showed up on in the trenches top 5 lines. So for that, give me the Arizona Cardinals to cover against the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, all right. Lambeau, Jordan Love. Oh, this is the October in Lambeau. I don't know what time of year you may have played there, Pat, but these are some golden opportunities, some unbelievable games at Lambeau when the weather is like this. Give me the Packers. I think they win by a touchdown.
You think, like, fans, it's going to be like a perfect setting for football?
Yeah, absolutely. Players, fans, everyone there.
What, it's like 55, 60 degrees?
Nice and sunny, like that beautiful, that fall sun.
Oh, yes.
After the game, you go and you collect pumpkins at the pumpkin patch, do whatever you want to do.
I'm in the middle of it right now, literally in the middle of it right now.
That's I love this time.
Yeah, me too. There's been different times in my life where I'm like, I'm moving to warm weather climate. I'm moving to Florida. I'm moving to Arizona, California. And then when push comes to shove for me to actually do it, it's like, I don't want to do fall anymore. I kind of want to do fall.
Yeah.
I think I want to do fall forever. You know, I think that's somewhat. Now, winter, I'm okay getting out of.
Yeah. Sure. Arizona's got some fall. Throw that.
Arizona also has that heat that is, it's dry heat, but boy, you can't even walk outside because it's cooking you from top and the bottom. It's like a Topgolf bin, you know what I mean? Or it's whatever it's called out there. It gets so hot out there. But right now, I don't know what it is. Probably 50 degrees right now, 55? Probably 55 degrees? Is that what we're thinking? Everybody off camera is probably agreeing with me, nodding in approval. I think it's 55 degrees right now. We see jackets. There's a lot of jackets out
58. What's that in Celsius, Gump? Is he back there?
61. It's 61 right now where we are. It's about 17 degrees Celsius out here.
I can hear him.
Actually, we could, yeah. There is a mic we could run over to Gump's there, but you heard him.
Yeah.
It's perfect out here right now. 61, sun's out. It is. You're right. This is beautiful. And the Arizona Cardinals are going to love it as well. Houston Texans taking on the New England Patriots. The Drake May era begins as a 6.5-point dog at home. Conman, 6.5 points at home. Drake May's debut. Do you feel disrespected by this? Do you feel good about this? How do you feel?
I honestly, it doesn't even matter to me. This spread could be 50, it could be 5, it could be 1, it could be 0. That's not a thing, but you get it. I am just so pumped to watch Drake May play football. I'm so serious about this. The most excited I've been for a football game since the Super Bowl against the Rams in Atlanta in 2018, I guess February 2019. This is going to be incredible. Only looking for a few big plays. 6.5 points against C.J. Stroud. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me, without a number one wide receiver, it feels like their offense might change a little. Joe Mixon sounds like he's back, so that definitely helps, but no Nico Collins. I am so excited for this football game. I cannot wait. I don't know if they're going to cover. I don't know if they're going to score. I don't know if they're going to move the football, but I do know when Drake May jogs on that football field for the first time, I'm going to be through the roof excited watching that game. We'll see how long that lasts.
What was final score? Houston Texans, Chicago Bears a couple weeks ago.
It was close.
Ooh. Bears.
Because I'm thinking of him and Caleb talking afterwards.
It was
1910?
1913.
1913.
Okay.
Oh, 6. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, right on it. And that was after that was on. it was 1910, and then the Bears kicked that long field goal, and that spread was exactly 6.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Houston Texans, but I will acknowledge the fact that this is an exciting weekend for the New England Patriots fans.
Oh yeah,
and I hope Drake May. I hope he has a fantastic debut. I don't think it's going to be enough just because offensively I don't think you keep up, even though number one receiver in the NFL, Nico Collins, for the Houston Texans. I believe in C.J. Stroud. I believe in that offense. I think even if Drake has a good debut, he won't be able to keep up with the Houston Texans enough to cover this 6.5-point spread. But Drake May being great is good for the NFL, and I hope it happens. And I hope that his drunk uncle makes it to the game as well. I do.
Yeah,
I hope he gets the kickoff. I do.
I'm sure there'll be a wheelbarrow available for him just in case. But in the spirit of cool jerseys, they are wearing their red throwbacks, and those are absolutely divine, if I do say so myself.
You're telling me red throwbacks with Drake May's debut?
Oh, yeah. It's almost written in the stars, brother. Can't you see it right next to Hercules and Brady? You can see it.
AJ, who do you got?
You know what? Seeing Khan's passion in person like this, give me the Patriots.
Yeah,
I wish it was 7.5, but I'm going to take him at 6.5 still.
It might be 7.5 by close.
Well,
all right, I'll take the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud. Okay. Colts, Titans somehow. It doesn't make sense to me. Favored by 2.5 at home against an AFC South rival in the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson, I believe, is going to be a game-time decision. I believe is the discussion. He was a full participant in practice. Jonathan Taylor has been ruled out. He's obviously our running back for Indianapolis. The Tennessee Titans are an interesting story. You know, what are they? What are they not? New era. Are they going to be able to find an identity? They know that this would be a huge win for the program, for the organization, especially down there in Nashville. They got a little football fever after Vandy does their thing against Alabama a week ago. AJ, how do you see it going, pal?
Man, I honestly am a bit surprised that the Colts are dogs on the road here. I get it. They give them they give you 2 or 3 points if you're the home team, but I'm taking the Colts here. I really am. I think the Colts find a way to win this game.
Let's go.
That's the first time you've ever done that. Yep. Don't love it.
Well,
don't love it.
I've been wrong though every time.
Not every time. No, not every time. And that's kind of been a part of the problem. Well, that's kind of been part of the problem for this whole thing. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, I think they get a massive win. And if it's AR back in for the Indianapolis Colts, I'm excited to watch his explosion. I'm excited to watch him to continue to develop and play great football with or without Michael Pittman Jr., I guess, who has not been completely ruled out yet. He's been in practice. And if it's Joey Flack, we know how that story goes.
Oh, yeah.
We know how that story goes.
It's the rare game where both backups could be better than the starter at the beginning of the season.
Nobody said that about the one team in Indianapolis. You're saying that. Nobody else. Lombardi said that. A couple others have said it. Echoed that. Not me. Okay. Anthony Richardson can do things Joe Flacco can't do. Yeah. We all understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Flacco bingo. All right.
You got two great quarterbacks.
Mason Rudolph making an appearance would be a little bit of a nightmare for me, though, after watching what he has done over the last couple of years. Then we got the Bucs and the Saints. Obviously, the Buccaneers favored by 3.5 going in to take on Spencer Rattler in the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome, brother. AJ, how do you see this one going?
Man, so I'm a big fan of Spencer Rattler. That guy is supremely talented. Everybody knows that, and it feels like he's kind of putting it together a little bit. I heard he had a good camp and everything. But that being said, give me the Bucs. Give me Baker on the road. I think they find a way to go in there and get a win and cover. So give me the Bucs.
I'll take the Bucs as well. Washington taking on Baltimore. This is a big-time DMV rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Everybody's on one of these two sides. Baltimore favored by 7 at home against the whiz kid from Washington, Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury, and Dan Quinn. The Baltimore Ravens are fresh out of a close dub against the Cincinnati Bengals that a lot of people say only happened because a holder bobbled the ball. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson had at it with an old white lady in Cincinnati. She added some extra motivation. We don't know what any Washington people have said to Lamar Jackson this week, but we will certainly keep an eye to the storylines. Lamar Jackson favored by 7 at home against this Washington team that has been a buzzsaw. Feels like a lot, Connor. Feels like a lot over there.
Yeah, it does, but this also feels like one of those ones where the books know something. Like if you just think about the entire season.
What do they know?
The Commanders have been rolling. And obviously the Ravens have been too. But like for a 7-point spread, it just doesn't make sense. You think about what the Ravens did to the Bills. They beat the fucking shit out of them earlier in the year, and that was prime time. They were wearing their cool blackout uniforms. But to go back to, I think it was last season, Foxy, you can talk more about this, but the Lions came to town, and it was very similar where the Lions were playing really well, but the spread was weird. It was like 6.5, and the Ravens were favored, and it didn't make much sense. But then on Sunday, the Ravens beat the fucking shit out of the Lions. So I don't know if this is one of those things where the books just know, like, hey, the Ravens – absolutely. The commies are very cool. They are fun. They are like the team of the future, and they are rolling. But the Ravens just, there's something about them, especially after last week, because they shouldn't have won last week, and the Commanders dominated last week. But, again, for some reason, 7 points from the books, it just feels like the Ravens, there's something in the water in Baltimore, and that this might be a game where it's like, hey, slow your roll on the Commanders. The Ravens are a Super Bowl contender.
This Commanders team is very similar to the Lions early last year, where the Lions were just horrendous defensively, but they could score. That's basically what the Commanders are right now as well.
I don't know about that. Their defense isn't too bad.
They're playing a bit better, but you expect the Ravens to, fill it up, and then huge opportunity for their defense, obviously, to be the ones to put it on tape that you can slow down this Jaden Daniels offense. Man.
Derrick Henry's people are saying he should be at least in the conversation for MVP at this point for what he's done and how he's been running.
Oh.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
I will take the Baltimore Ravens though, favored by 7 at home against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, this one I'm thinking about it. Maybe I've been waffling a little bit like Chuck at times.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I really have, because I know what Washington has done, Jaden Daniels, all that. But Baltimore at home, we know that's a tough place. Give me the Ravens. -7 at home.
It doesn't make any sense. Like,
which is why,
right?
Yeah,
going to the full 7 is crazy.
Which is why you got to pick it almost.
Yeah.
Steelers, Raiders. Steelers favored by 3 going into Las Vegas. This one's going to have Tony Romo on a call. Okay, that's a big deal, especially if Russell Wilson gets dropped in there after a poor first half by Justin Fields. We don't know the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh, what the leash is on Justin Fields, what it looks like. And then in Las Vegas, I don't want to say
Aiden O'Connell.
because our show. But our show's been saying a lot of stuff. People on our show have been saying a lot of stuff about the Raiders.
We love
Raiders
them.
fans. We do love them.
We love the Raiders.
Yeah.
Bruce actually picked them as his second team.
Yeah, I do fucking love them. And styles make fights. This is going to be a close one. This is going to be in a phone booth. And I think Aiden O'Connell has enough to cover the 3, personally.
Okay, that's a Raiders fan right there. Now, a lot of Raiders fans have been saying our show is a bunch of clowns. and they don't like us because Max Crosby. What? Yeah, that's what they because we let Michael Lombardi say the things that he says on our show about the Raiders. That's what they say.
Clowns know clowns.
Oh, whoa!
See, now Tony, you're taking shots at Raiders fans.
Hey, what are you doing?
A clown.
Well, Raiders fans stink. So I mean,
you're right.
He's just talking. He's just talking junk, Raiders fans. It's just because he is. Steelers
He doesn't
fan.
mean it.
It's not. It's not personal.
Sounds pretty.
They're not going to hear that though. They're not going to hear that message, Connor. They're going to take it personally.
I'm glad they're not going to hear it because it wasn't.
Hey, speaking of taking things personally, how did the Penguins do against the Detroit Red Wings last night?
Swing. What happened, Foxy?
I thought we already did hockey talk. All right, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they went into Detroit and they won 6-3 in a game where the Red Wings thought it was a preseason game.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Don't take that personally.
Yeah, don't take it personally.
I will take the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against the Raiders just because I don't know. I legitimately don't know. I like the Steelers team. They're fresh off that loss to the Cowboys. Raiders also fresh off a loss to the Broncos. It's like, which team can figure it out? I think the Steelers are closer to figuring it out than the Raiders are, so give me the Steelers.
Yeah, so the Raiders do seem, they're trying to figure things out. But you know what? With all the Raiders slander, I'm taking the Raiders at home.
Hell yeah.
+3. Why not? Give it.
I took them last week. I took it last week for that whole thing you just said right there.
We'll see how
Wilkins is on the IR.
I know, and I saw that dude was making plays too this year. Man,
you know what Artie's going to do? Yeah, you know what Naj's going to do? He just watched his first hockey game last night. You see that?
That was entertaining, actually. Watching him mic'd up watching hockey.
2 nights ago, I'm sorry. Him and Fryermuth went down to PPG Paints Arena and saw the Penguins play preseason hockey.
Did they play?
It was a friendly, right? Wasn't it a friendly? What Gump says?
Was it friendly for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it was a friendly. Well, it was. We got to work on some stuff. Yeah. Okay, and if you did notice, the Pens got better from night 1 to night 2 whenever they found out it wasn't preseason anymore. But Najee and Fryermuth, as I was watching that video, I was like, ooh, there's nothing good coming from the Pens. His energy in that video, Tone, I loved it. I love Najee's energy in it. I like Fryermuth's energy in it. Does that make you feel like Pittsburgh's a little bit more back, Tone, with that whole thing?
They're both leaders on the offense. Muth is my guy. I would take a bullet for Muth. Naj is good. He's good.
Well, I mean, would you take a bullet for Naj?
He's only got 1 year left on his contract.
A rubber bullet.
Oh my God, just cold-hearted.
Muth just signed a new deal.
Come on.
You're missing Jalen Warren a little bit.
What about Russ? You take a bullet for Russ?
Russ is on a 1 year deal as well.
Here we go.
Rubber bullet.
Cam Hayward.
Cam Hayward.
What about Troy Polamalu? He's not on the team anymore, but will you take
but he's in the Hall of Fame, though.
Okay.
So.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So,
the Hall of Famers all get bullets.
They get bullets.
Yeah, time go get all those bullets for them. I'll take the Steelers. You got the Raiders. Sweet. Let's go Chargers, Broncos. Broncos been on a little bit of a run. Bo Nix threw for what, 60 yards last week, 70 yards?
Yeah, just about. That was 2 weeks ago. He had like 220 last week, I think. He did go.
Oh, yeah, he went crazy. That's on me, Bo. I apologize. I was going to pick Bo Nix and the Broncos. Now that I just found out he threw for 220, even more so. I think the Chargers. Are they bye week last?
Yeah, bye week. Healing up a bit. I believe that Joe Alt has been practicing and is training to go. I'm not sure about Slater, but getting healthier.
Okay, I like the Broncos. I love Harbaugh. I love the Chargers, but the Broncos are currently in the middle of what we like to call actually, give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers -3. I think the Broncos have another moment. Rookie quarterback, Sean Payton. They we just had Sertano. He was
Chargers,
awesome.
Chargers
100-yard pick 6.
Chargers off a bye.
Rusty, probably.
AJ, who are you taking, AJ?
I have talked myself into the Broncos in my brain over the last 30 seconds.
You heard me actually talking myself into both teams right there.
Yeah, I'm taking Broncos at home +3.
That's the difference between us and other shows that do picks.
Yeah.
Because we are literally figuring it out on the spot.
It's our instincts. We're trusting our instincts.
Picking them all.
Talk it out.
Because how are you supposed to make picks if you don't know all the updates? And on this particular Friday, it's not easy to get all the updates because these insiders decide to hold off information. Yep. So we want to do it in real time. We want to be the best journalistic standard team we can be. But boy, some of these games are real. Sportsbooks put a good line here. This is a good line. 3 feels like a very good line here for the Denver Broncos Chargers. I will take the Chargers off a bye week. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers.
Okay.
What's Herbert doing? He had Ben Roethlisberger boots on, didn't he, just 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but they were winning against the Chiefs, and they played really well against the Chiefs. Obviously, Chiefs come back in the fourth quarter. But Herbert was fine. He got out of that game fine, and they had a bye week, so I'd assume he's in better situation than he was a couple weeks ago. For sure.
I will take the Chargers on the road. Let's go Falcons, Panthers, Carolina. A lot going on down there, okay, in that state. Falcons, Kirk Cousins coming in favored by 6. Your pick, A.J. Hawk.
This is another one that I've had to think about over the last 10 to 15 seconds when I saw it up there. I am going to take the Atlanta Falcons -6 on the road here.
I will do the same thing. Lions, Cowboys. Lions favored by 3 going into Jerry World. AJ, your thoughts?
Sunday Night Football here.
Sunday Night Football.
No, 425 that game.
425,
Yeah. Oh, okay,
even
excuse
better. We love that. Man, Dallas Cowboys at home. Every game is a must-win for the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys +3. They have to be offended. They've been building chips on their shoulder all week, thinking, "Hey, we're not going to be home dogs. You got to be kidding me." So yeah, give me the Cowboys.
Love that they got a late win. Dak Prescott makes a huge play against the Pittsburgh Steelers Monday morning about 1 a.m. or whatever. Big Mike McCarthy goes back to Pittsburgh and walks out as a hero, as a winner, as a champion. They need to figure out his hat to headset combo. Yeah. Big Mike. The hat's always like kind of oddly shaped, and then the way the headset kind of holds it, they kind of make him look like an asshole out there. And I don't love that. Okay, I don't like that for
ball.
Big Mike.
He cares about ball, That's all he cares about.
I know, so he'll put any hat on that they put in his locker. I'm just telling the people that put stuff in his locker, like, can somebody look out for Big Mike? Can somebody just be like, hey, you know what, maybe we don't make the Big Yinzer look like a big dumbass today. That would be great for Big Mike, I think. I like that he is all ball and all in for anything they give him. Speaking of being all in, I'm all in on MCDC, especially because he loves movie theaters. He's from Texas. He calls them theaters. So give me the Lions, favored by 3 on the road at 425 on Fox with Tom Brady on the call. And then let's go to Sunday Night Football. Bengals, Giants. Bengals favored by 3.5 with everything they got brewing. With Joe Burrow saying, we're not a good enough team to win. They're 1-4. We know, pal, but he acknowledges it as well. Jamar Chase goes bananas. T. Higgins goes bananas. They still lose to the Baltimore Ravens after a botched hold. And then for the New York Football Giants, Bruce Brown, correct me if I'm wrong, we're good at football again, right?
Yeah, no, they've been playing well. Danny Dimes is playing well, but all Giants fans are probably disappointed to see us in the primetime window where we have still struggled.
What the fuck?
Why
is this the game? Why is this the game? You got to be fucking kidding me. Did you see some of these games?
Why is it the game?
Fucking 1-4 Bengals versus the fucking Giants. Well, this is such bullshit, man. You got to be shitting me.
Can you flex games yet?
I think they tried.
They tried to flex.
They tried and they got rejected.
The people spoke. The people wanted to watch this game.
That.
That's what I heard.
Fuck that. Yeah. Okay. This is such bullshit, dude. I am so pissed about this. I thought this whole time that it was Cowboys Lions, and then I look down and it's fucking Giants Bengals. This is a
early bedtime.
Fucking
thank you, Pat.
I'm sorry.
On the other side,
bedtime.
you and I are super pumped because we'll be in bed at a normal time. We'll just be sleeping, have a nice Monday morning.
Fucking bullshit, man. I am fucking over the moon pissed about this.
It is bullshit.
Okay.
The real question though is, do you think the Giants defense can get stops against this Bengals offense? Can we hold them to 24?
The question Connor has.
Yeah.
The question Connor has is, why is your team still in prime time?
I don't know.
Connor, I understand why you're so angry. It's week 6.
Yeah.
So, Giants could turn this thing around and rattle off 10 straight.
What are we talking about? What are we talking?
You never know.
What land are we living in right now? It's not the real world. I mean, fucking flex Patriots, Texans. That'd be better than this. And I don't even want Drake May. I don't even want Drake May in prime time.
You're laughing.
That'd be a better show. Fuck.
Okay,
man.
I will take the Bengals -3.5 on the road against the best defensive player in football. If you listen to AQ Shipley, Dexter Lawrence,
that's right.
Daniel Jones, Dayball, and the Giants. AJ, who do you got?
Give me the Bengals, 3.5-point favorites on the road against Bruce's Giants. Yeah, have to.
You do have to.
Bengals is disgusting.
Defense needs a couple stops, a couple turnovers. You got to turn over.
Man.
What happened to the game I love, man? What happened to the game I fucking love?
Well, I can't do gun celebrations anymore, and they're gifting you a nice early bedtime on Sunday if you hate the game so much. Go to bed at halftime. Wake up Monday morning even more ready to go after that Drake May debut for a nice overreaction Monday, brother. They're trying to give you a gift here, Con Man. They're trying to do this for you.
I don't want gifts. I want good football in prime time.
You're going to stay up all night.
That's a good gift.
What if it's a great game?
That's a good gift.
What if it's a great game, comes down to the wire, and someone wins 17-13?
Then I'll be the happiest wrong guy ever. Okay. But what happens if the game fucking stinks?
There's a chance. A lot of these games in prime time.
You're going to watch it anyway, you sick fuck.
I am going to watch it anyways. But what?
Edgar Allan Poe, watch it.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm gonna. I'd love to see Baltimore and the Commanders in there, even though they said we're not going to flex it. I don't know why the NFL doesn't come in and say, "Shut the fuck up! If you don't let us flex this game, we're going to take every game that you have and give it to someone else." That's what should have happened. But again, look, what do I know? I'm just a fucking.
Allegedly, Sunday Night Football did try to DoorDash one of CBS's games, and CBS said no. We can point blame at some people who made that decision, and I think with the way the story came out, allegedly, obviously this is all alleged, we don't know what actual conversations took place, we're just saying what has been reported. You can blame CBS, but they wanted the game. They kept their lineup, and Sunday Night Football now has an absolute banger.
I mean, what about Packers Cardinals? How about that one?
What about Lions Cowboys? I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Lions Cowboys does feel like that would be a natural just boom Sunday night.
But Fox, in the relationship with Dallas.
Yeah, so that one at least makes sense. This is just asinine fucking bullshit.
What game's Romo on again? We thought
he said Steelers Raiders.
Is he Steelers Raiders?
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
If that's CBS 425, it's going to be Tony, right?
I would assume he's on.
Tony!
I would assume he's on Ravens.
Jim.
Yeah, he does 1 o'clock games as well, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I figured it was.
Yeah, that's on me. I got it wrong. Tony!
Yeah. And then we top it off. We got Bills Jets on Monday night that we'll do on Monday. So that's a good primetime game.
That's a lot of conversation. The amount of chatter for that game is going to be awesome on Monday. Yeah. I was wondering if a camera person could turn this around. There's a father-daughter combo here. Justin and Adeline is their name. They drove from some part of Oregon that is a few hours away. He's a construction worker. She's 9 years old. They're big fans of the show. They watch the show. I told her immediately that they broke into the stadium. Obviously, the cops have been very kind to them. But that's Justin and Adeline right there. He's a construction worker. She's a 9-year-old. Yep. She got the For the Brand shirt on. They had some other shit that I signed. Good people. Adeline's got good personality, too. The guy behind him, I have not met the cowboy behind him. But, I mean, that's not Rocky. I know it's not Rocky. But
he's not smiling either.
Justin and Adeline, though, let's keep it with Justin and Adeline, not the cowboy behind there. Good people, fans of the show every single day. So
awesome. Love you guys.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're good there. We're good there.
That's awesome.
Yep.
By the way, Romo and Nance are doing the 1 p.m. Commanders and Ravens game.
Great.
Which is good news because that's going to be a big one. 4 o'clock slate is crowded, but there's only one game on Sunday night. And that's Bengals Giants.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for
Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. What do you got the rest of the day, Pat? You guys got meetings and stuff?
Yeah, we got a meeting coming up here to kind of go through everything that's going to be happening. And then, I don't know. I might nap at some point, I guess.
Is Gumpy going to be able to find an ice cold pint tonight?
Yeah, I think there has been a couple pint locations located already. Good. Yeah, so it was hard to find a pint last week in Berkeley, we will say.
You guys go take a tour, look at the Redwoods.
Ooh. Hey, Gump, come here, Gump. Come here, Gump. Come here, Gump. Gumpy runs on no sleep. I don't know how he does it.
I know, it's nuts.
It is nuts, isn't it?
It really is.
It is. Hey, Gump, what's the rest of the day look like? What do we do? They want to know if we're going to go look at any of these redwoods or anything.
Have to. Beautiful scenery here on the Pacific Northwest where I was born and raised.
Are you going to have a pine? Is there any pines?
Looking for 6 to 8 Friday night pines.
6 to 8?
Maybe.
You're right. You're right. That number's low. You're right. 10 to 12.
That
number's low.
6 to 8. No. 6 to 8. Perfect.
Pacific Northwest pines go down a little smoother. It's like it's Dublin for you, pal.
Yeah. Hopefully they got Michelob Ultras, though.
What do you mean?
Well, that's just what we like to put down, you know?
Yeah, because you're talking about the full beers.
Yeah, that's it.
We want you to taste every single ingredient in this beer.
Yeah, that's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, what are they called?
IPAs.
There it is, IPAs. Yeah.
Those still in? People still doing that?
Up there they are.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole?
Yeah, feels right.
You need to taste the trees, brother. You need to taste
17-ounce bottles. Yeah.
Me and Gump on a plane this morning. Broken screen in front of us. Pitch black outside. 6 hours.
Man.
10 hours.
Good run.
You let
No.
Gump, you let him play his Bluetooth?
No.
Oh, we missed you this morning, Gump. We missed you.
Yeah, we did.
boy, oh boy.
We did. We did.
Music
Boy,
this
does Mitt's
morning
music in there suck.
almost
it was
cut
bad.
my fucking ears off.
Who decided?
The Hawk House been pretty empty in the morning, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Damn
it
shit.
doesn't matter what
Going
time
out
you
work
work
ethic.
out, Gump. Come on.
I'm just asking.
Well, there was a crew there. I was a part of it for a bit, and then I left, and then also everybody else started leaving. The mornings are tough. How was Mitt the one that got the aux?
I think he was the only one in there with Foxy.
Yeah, he beat me there, and I don't want the responsibility of the aux, so I don't care what music's playing. I know that's very selfish of me.
I get it.
I think it was unselfish.
I get it.
Live your life.
Selfish.
It's selfish of you for the rest of the office, though.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, because everybody had to hear that crop.
Yeah.
What, Mitt doesn't? I figured Mitt only plays the hits.
No, Connor saved it. Connor started playing Christmas music.
Yeah.
In the,
And Halloween
in the thing,
music.
in
We had
the
some Halloween
thing.
music, too.
I had
Good
to
stuff.
turn something on.
Good lad. You're a good lad.
It's great Christmas music.
Do you have any of these vitamins?
No.
About 17.5 Celsius, Gump.
See. We'll see. Yeah, what is the Celsius out here?
18 right now, rising.
Wow. Camerizing.
Yodelly, 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 yodelly.
It was 7 when we landed.
Jeez, can't have it.
That's chilly.
Rossio. Rossio's walking around with us. These people are so kind to us, giving us a full tour. Jimmy and the boys, okay, giving us a full tour.
Yeah.
Me, Gumpy, Rossio, obviously. Rossio's walking around. Oh, it's a bit chilly up here.
I'm
isn't it?
freezing. Can I go to bed?
Oh, it's a bit chilly up here. The people who are walking with are like, "Are you guys the softest group?" It's like, it's
Yeah, it's just him.
Just
this
him.
guy. This guy right here. Oh, it's real chilly up here working. Sound like Chuck Pagano yesterday in the office.
God.
Well, the air conditioner sure works, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so Truck was
Have a great weekend.
He was really cold, huh? Before the show yesterday.
He had one of these going. And then even a couple.
Oh, was he just waiting for somebody like you all cold, Chuck?
Yeah,
So he could
exactly.
get
You
going?
all right?
Yeah, he was being pretty dramatic about it all. And then he rattled off all the things that he's battled through in his life. And then he says, pneumonia, 2024, gonna kill me. And that was certainly
Awesome.
It was awesome. As are you, AJ. Thank you for making the trip over to Indianapolis. Boys, great work this week. To everybody here that helped set this thing up, thank you so much for your incredible work.
Oh, yeah.
Thing went off without a hitch. To obviously Coach Saban for joining us. What a man he is and a coach he is. And then Coach Lanning for allowing us to kind of infiltrate his building all morning. This has been fun. AJ, it's going to be a great weekend of football. Can't wait to catch back up on Monday.
Absolutely. Overreaction Monday, right? Obviously, you and Gump going to go try to find a couple pints and have your meetings tonight. Good luck at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, bud.
Yeah, so that's always the issue is I try to stay on like American time, like
East.
Yeah.
Eastern time. There it is. Yeah, I try to stay on Eastern time, but then you get here and the sun's up, and then there's like, should we go? We should go get dinner somewhere. We should go see this place a little bit, and then all of a sudden you start feeling, feeling alive, and next thing you know, it's like 9 p.m. and it's like, hold the phone. That's midnight. This is gonna come quick, and then you open your phone up, and then it's like, hey, we got a 4 a.m. wake up call happening. Okay, that one wakes up. That one gets you going. So hopefully I'll be able to manage the situation, but we're certainly going to find Gump some beers that he can slaughter because that trip out here is certainly worth a beer or two, I think, and or 8 or 10 or 12 or however many he decides to make disappear. We're going to do that. AJ, how about you? Heading back to Ohio? We got big Friday night lights tonight, or what's going on this weekend with the family?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to go to I've gone to some high school games over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if we're going tonight. My mom's birthday was the other day. We'll go. Everyone's going to go to Dayton. See her tomorrow night. But yeah, man, sports, everything. Like I said, this weather, I feel like I'm like the old man. I was at practice last night for my son's team, and I'm like, guys, take a look around. Can you see this weather? It was like 65, perfect fall weather, and everyone just looks at me like I'm an idiot and doesn't say anything back.
They don't get it.
I hear the helmets popping.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you hear the pads popping, like the leaves are changing. I'm like, this is it. Like, we are here, guys. We've arrived. Like, this is what we want.
Isn't it amazing that, like, for some people, that is like dream. And then there's some kids out there that are in the middle there, like, this is my nightmare. Why am I doing this? I want to go code. You know?
Yeah, you're right. Takes us all, doesn't it? Takes everything.
It does. It's a great sport. That's why Jason Kelsey needs to stop with the whole kicking thing. You're too powerful.
He was messing around.
Too big. He was just joshing, wasn't he? He sounded pretty personal. He took a lot of shots at that, said he's well thought out, has an idea, done this before, need to do it again. I don't love that. Okay, and Jason Kelsey can say whatever he wants. He literally can say anything, which is why we need him to stop saying that. Yeah. Because he will actually lead to the banishment of kickers, which I don't love. I don't love football. You know, the sport is great for no matter what your body. Matt Wright, you see him? He's a rocket scientist, able to play football last night. Yeah. He's 5'5" maybe, 135, 145 pounds, just playing professional football. He had a dream his entire life to be a part of a football team, play football. He makes it. He gets the NFL. For all this international start that we're doing for football, kicking position is going to be the gateway for a lot of people to get into the sport. It's a beautiful thing, and I know it's different than every other position. It's certainly less physically tasking, but it's a part of the reason why American football is so awesome, because anybody can play, anybody that wants to play can get in there, and for the rest of the world, you might already be better than you think you are at this particular game in one of these positions, and you can feel welcomed as well. So, Jason Kelsey, enough with the Skip Bayless shit, okay? Okay, when it comes to the kicking, into the punting, but everything else you're doing, love it. You're throwing 1,000 on the paint, on the tape. It is an amazing thing. AJ, I don't need to hear your thoughts about kickers and punters, okay? All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Let's not do that. We just need to continue to move along because football's in a good spot, great spot, and let's just keep chugging along and let's stop saying that stuff.
It's absolutely, I'm with you. It's in a great spot. Obviously, we'll let you get to your meetings. Pat, Overaction Monday, obviously, you'll be back here on this desk. I'll be back in the attic. Appreciate you, boys. Everyone in the back, everyone being here. I tell you every time, it's cool. I love coming here and getting to see all the boys and getting to see everybody. It's awesome. So, Pat, have fun out there, man. We'll be watching. Hopefully, the kid either shanks the cake horribly or makes it tomorrow.
Okay, yep, that's what we're hoping for. The Miss obviously don't have to pay a kid out here in Oregon, especially after last week, which was, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars for good reason, for good cause. And I learned from Justin today, who is with Adeline, that him and his boys, they start the podcast, I think, after lunch, and then they work for as long as the show is.
Oh,
so
nice.
So whenever we awesome. Whenever we stop early, the boys are like, okay, and then whenever we have these long ones, there's probably a couple in a group that are just like, Jesus, these guys shut the fuck up. There's a little bit of that. So
we're doing that right now.
I didn't know we had that type of control on the day, but we are honored and thankful for everybody that watches and listens. Another week down. Next week will be amazing. You're the best, AJ.
You're the best. Everybody, we'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Yeah, you got to do the team.
My bad, Pat. That's all on me.
Jeez.
I was messing around for the boys, hammering away. I was trying to get them to quit a little bit early. You ready? Hey.
Got it.
Here we go. Team on me. Team on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Team. Goodbye.